Hi everyone and welcome to 9th and 10th channel of BYJU'S. I'm your teacher Ankita.
I'm your teacher Aishwarya, and today we are going to be doing top 50 competency based questions that have been released officially from CBSE, where we will be looking at all the questions from biology today. So everybody, I hope all of you are ready for today's class, and yes, today we will complete all the important questions. So ma'am, I think we've all had a look at all the questions from the competency-based, the manual that was handed out. So what was your thought on the questions?
The questions are really very easy, but one thing we have to pay attention to each and every question is that they're a little bit lengthy and they're kind of twisted, right ma'am?
Yeah. The answers are very simple, right? The answer is very direct, the answer is very simple, but as mentioned by CBSE, this time around, in your examination, you are going to be getting some competency-based questions for your exams, especially for board exam. So it's very important that you understand. And see, one thing with competency-based questions is that, ma'am, there's always a technique, right?
Yes, and I'm sure, trust us, we'll be telling you that technique also.
Yes. So everybody very quickly make sure that give us a quick thumbs up that our audio, our video and our screen and what we're writing on the screen is visible to all of you. If it is visible, then give me a quick thumbs up. We need to have a train of thumbs ups in the chat to let us know that we are good to go. And yes, how long is this going to take? Again, like I said, biology has the most amount of marks which is allocated and 5 huge chapters. Ma'am, what is our aim, right? Maybe 1.5 hours, right?
Yes, yeah, I think that's the least we can expect. We can go up to 2 hours also, but the least is 1 hour, 1.5 hour, because see, we don't want to rush because it's the final examination. It's not like your half-yearly examination or your unit test examination. We want to spend time with you so that you are clear with these questions. So we will make sure that we will take our class. We will try our best to finish it off. We know that you have a very long day, but we need your support also. So we want you to be very active. Please make sure you're focusing just in the class. Ask the doubt when we are discussing when we're not discussing something. We'll give you the doubt windows and of course we'll ask you. And I think without saying that, let's get started, right? Without taking much of your time.
Yes, so we're going to get started very quickly. Now, of course, in the beginning, I'll be taking a few of the chapters, followed by which Ankita ma'am is going to take. Now, everybody, how are we going to go about? Now, those of you who have been part of our marathon in the morning, right? So, in the Maha Marathon, we started with life process, then we went into heredity, then we went on and did how do organisms reproduce, then we did our environment, and then we ended with control coordination. Right? So what are we going to do today? The competitive or the competency based questions will go in the reverse order, right? We'll start with control coordination, we will go into our environment, then we will do how do organisms reproduce, followed by which we'll have heredity, and we will end today with life processes. So ma'am, we're ending the session with a bang, right?
Yeah, with the very big, huge chapter. And we are starting with the chapter that we have studied in the morning itself, but in a reverse order. So please make sure that you stay with us. See, you always tell us, right, ma'am, how's your energy be so high throughout the days because of you? See, we are here. We really feel that if you stay with us, if you stay focused during these classes, it will be helping you. And see, if we come to the class with a sad face, with low of energy, I'm sure you don't want to study. We need that energy because when we have an active mind, we can take the knowledge really very easily. So everyone, let's get started. I will be leaving now. All the best, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. So can we make me small on screen, Ranjit, if that is possible? Yes, I will be doing it in English, right? Mainly English again, because as you know, my Hindi is all so only, but I will try, and we will try our best to have a lot of polls. But see, if you keep poll, then you answer, then I give you the answer, it takes a lot of time, bacha, which is why I'm not going to do polls and this much. I'll try my best to do as much as possible. And very quickly, before we get started, Ranjit, if it is possible, can you move me a little more towards my left, right? Little more towards the left, because I may cover content, right? Yes, if I wish this could be Menti, but everybody, this is not going to be Menti. This is going to be a proper PDF solving. So now, how many of you, very quickly in the chat, how many of you have already seen the questions? Yes, how many of you have seen Arsh ma'am and Saurabh sir's session? How many of you have already observed the questions, right? How many of you have seen it? Okay. Yes, most of you have seen it, right? So I'm going to quickly change my screen. Now, for those of you who don't know how to go about it, this is for all of you who don't know how to do it, right? Go to CBSE website, right? I'm just going to put CBSE academic because that's the easiest way for me to search. Go to academics. Now you have an option which says handbook, right? You have a thing which says handbooks. Now go to handbooks. Handbooks may you have all these PDFs which are available for you. Yes, you have it for science, you have it for SST, you've had it for English, Ashmita ma'am has already done it, you have it for math, so on and so forth. Now click on science, right? And the manual will open, right? Now of course I have it open with me with a zoomed version, right? So we're going to quickly get started with control and coordination. Now all of you, if you want to do it along with me with the manual open, you can do that also, right? So let me quickly scroll down to control coordination. I'm just going to move this, right? Let me just keep it here. Okay, so we have live process here. We are in control and coordination. Is my screen visible to you? Are you all able to see the text? Are you all able to observe the text, or should I zoom in little more? Text is visible on the screen. Questions are visible. Yes? So shall we get started? All of you. Very good. Now if text is not visible, for those of you whom it's blurry, go to settings, increase the font size, right? Go to settings, increase the pixel, make it 720p so that you are able to see. Okay? First question that is going to be there, you need to give me the answer. Sapna, who is there, suffers from a condition due to which her average blood sugar level is 174. Okay, let me just minimize the font size also, I mean the width. Yes, it is 174 mg per dl. That is basically that many milligrams in the liter that is there. Ideally, for an average adult, it should have been less than 140. Okay. So what do we mean by this? Insufficient production of thyroxine, insufficient production of insulin, excess production of thyroxine or excess production of insulin, right? This has both MCQ and subjective questions. Now this is very simple. When we talk about blood sugar level, we know that we are talking about insulin, right? Insulin's function is to regulate blood sugar level. So what do? Eliminate out options 1 and 3 because they are talking about thyroxine. These are not the options. Now you have insufficient production and excess. Now in this case, we know that insulin, if there's not enough insulin, we know that in this case, that is when the blood sugar level will rise. Because what is the function of insulin? Convert excess of blood sugar, or I would say excess of glucose into glycogen, right? So that is the function of insulin. So in this case, what is the correct answer? Correct answer is option 2, right? Option 2 is the correct answer. Very good. Most of you have got the answer. Now let's move on to the next one, right? Let's move on to question number 2. Auxin is a plant hormone. Now this is very interesting, okay? Auxin is a plant hormone that promotes cell elongation. So it promotes cell elongation and it is produced by the apical meristem. Alright. So auxin is produced by apical meristem. It inhibits the growth of lateral buds which are present at the nodes. Right. So apart from allowing stem elongation, we also observe that in this case, what is it doing? We see that it is also inhibiting, I'm using another color. It is inhibiting the growth of lateral buds which are present. That means I say lateral growth is not possible. Now as long as sufficient auxin, now what has happened? As long as sufficient auxin is produced by the apical meristem, the lateral buds remain dormant. Now there is some gardener, okay, and he wants to plant in the hedge that he is growing to make it bushier with more branches. He wants it to become more bushier. Now what should he do? Is he going to spray water on the tips of the stem to increase growth? Is he going to dig around the plant roots and apply more manure? Is he going to trim the hedge by cutting off the tips of the stem or remove all weeds over there? This is a tricky one, okay? Now basically, they are saying that auxin will allow stem elongation. That means growth in this direction. Lateral growth is not really promoted by auxin. But farmer, what does he want? He wants something bushy which will grow like this, laterally mainly, that grows bushy in this manner. So by spraying water, is it going to happen? No, right? Yes. Somebody was saying, Ma'am, please don't shout. I am just a very loud person. You can reduce your volume also. I will not shout then, right? So you can reduce your volume. So now, of course, for all of you here, spraying water is not going to help, digging the plant roots is not going to help, removing weeds around the hedge is not going to help. But on trimming and cutting off the tips of the stem, what effectively happens is that the production of auxin will reduce. Now, if auxin is not there, then what do we see? We see that in this case, it will grow sideways, right? Okay, so that is something that you need to understand. All right, so are we clear with this question? Are we all clear with why this is the answer? Percentage. Okay, ma'am, English mein. So you're saying English mein, ma'am, we got a good amount of percentage, right? So see, mainly the thing is they'll not give you the exact same questions. But the thing is you need to understand the trick, right? They've given you so much story here. What you should know from this, how you need to apply this is what you should know, right? Ma'am, I didn't understand. Okay, see, very easy. Auxin allows stem elongation in this direction. Now what happens is that auxin promotes stem elongation. It allows for cell elongation, and allows for growth in this direction, right? But at the same time, what will happen? We see that it will not allow lateral growth, because most often than not, lateral sideways growth is promoted by cytokinin. Now farmer wants or gardener wants to grow it like this. So what should he do? He should do it in a way where he cuts it off, or he cuts off the tips where auxin gets produced. That means now auxin will not inhibit the lateral growth, right? So you need to interpret this particular thing, okay? Yes, all right. Now let's move on to the next question. So now the next one is also a little bit aligned with what we have learned about auxin, ठीक है? हिंदी में मैं बताती हूँ, but of course you know my Hindi is so try to follow it in English. If not, we'll understand. Hedge is basically essay, like a huge set of plants that are there. Very easy, right? Okay, see, competency, like I said, 40% will be competency in your science exam. So let's not waste time. Yes, okay. Now moving on to the next one. Now I'll increase the font size here a little more maybe. All right. I hope you are now able to see. Part of the question might get covered. I'll keep moving it. Okay. Now question number 3 is on your screen, wherein you have an image which is given to you, right? You have an image which is given to you wherein auxin is produced by the part which is synthesized as X. So here they're saying that X synthesizes auxin. All right. Now what do we see? And you have some part Y, and niche if we scroll down, there is another part which is marked as Z, right? So here you have another part which is marked as Z. Now in this case, what we need to do, if I go back, we see that Geeta took, what did she do? Geeta cut off part X, okay? She has cut out and removed part X. Then she took a plant and she kept it, and she took the same plant, right? So we see that in this case, Geeta took this particular plant, right? And she kept it near a window and she observed it after 7 days, right? Hope all the parts are clear to you. Now we need to identify what would she have ideally observed, right? So now you have 4 options. X is producing your auxin. X is gone. Now what are the implications? Part Y grew and bent towards the window. Part Z started growing upwards and out of the soil. Part Y did not grow at all, or part Y grew upwards. Now part Z here is nothing but it is your root, right? So Z right here, this is too thick for me, so let me make it a little smaller. Yes. So Z right here is nothing but the root, right? And Y right here is your stem. And X right here is the tip, right? I'll put stem tip, or I can put apical meristem or apical tip I can put. Yes? Now what's going to happen? Part Y grew and bent towards the window is what most of you are giving me the answer. That means that part Z growing upwards and growing out of the soil is out of possibility. And there is one more option which says that part Y grew upwards. Most of you are giving me the answer as 1. But let me tell you, I want all of you to give me the answer to this, okay? When will stem bend towards the sunlight, right? When is the stem going to bend towards the sunlight? Can you tell me, when is it going to bend? when auxin gets produced, right? And auxin, very good, or when auxin gets produced. Now they're saying that part X is what produces auxin. They have given to us what is given. So what is given to us? Auxin is produced by part X. And what did Geeta do? She actually cut off auxin supply altogether. There is no auxin only. If auxin is not there, how is plant going to grow? Absolutely not. Somebody gave me the answer to this. Part Y will not bend. No way. Part Y grew upwards. How is it still possible? Part Y cannot grow because auxin is not there for growth. So it is not 4 either. There is absolutely no growth in part Y simply because auxin is not there. Are we clear? Auxin supply has been cut. Ma'am, then Y would produce auxin. No, Y would not produce auxin. And here somebody is telling me, ma'am, gibberellin is there. No, then it will grow. See, question is, don't overcomplicate the question. Question is simply asking you regarding auxin production, right? They are only talking about auxin production. Presence of auxin, absence of auxin. That is all that they are asking, right? Now, if you say that auxin supply has been cut, then you need to tell what will happen in the absence of it. It's as simple as that, right? Which is why if auxin is not there, it will not grow at all. Then why was there growth in the bushes? Because see, it was inhibiting, it was stopping lateral growth, right? In the previous question, when auxin was present, it was stopping lateral growth. But when auxin is not there, it is promoting auxin lateral growth. It's kind of like, you imagine there was a door, okay? There is a door stopping people from entering. But now that door is not there. Then what will happen? It will go ahead and it will move ahead. Now think about it. It is application based. Don't overthink the question, right? So that is what we try to understand exactly by cell division, right? Okay, we are clear with this, right? I'm sure all of you are now clear. 27 to 30 marks you will get from biology. 27 to 30. See, everyone, don't worry about this. You can always come back. Maybe your concept on auxin. What is the correct answer? Correct answer is option 3, right? Ma'am, why stem can't grow? See, stem did not grow at all because it is with respect to this experiment. It is not that stem has stopped growing forever. Okay. Understand, this is with respect to this particular question where they said that she put it near a window. She put it near a window with sunlight and observed after 7 days. Not much growth because your apical meristem is gone, right? So that is what we understand by this. Exactly. So now let's go on. Abhi no menti. Menti will be later. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Very easy question. You all should give me the answer to this, right? During pollination, plants ensure that pollen grain from a species germinates on the stigma of the same species. Which of the following ensures this? Direct question. There is no, overthinking. Hydro, chemo, photo. Jaldi, 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 it should come. Ma'am, you are telling that if plant is cut once, it won't grow. Shreyansh, I am not telling you that. I am telling you that the experiment which was carried out. See, understand that competency-based questions are not factual, hardcore theory. They'll give you a situation and what is the possible outcome of that situation. That is what you need to understand, right? See, gibberellins allow elongation of stem. That is definitely there. I am not taking it away. But here the question is directed towards auxin and auxin only. Then why do you want to bring a parallel angle of gibberellins and cytokinins? So here it is yes or no kind of thing. That is what you need to understand. Okay. Questions from deleted syllabus will not come and I will not even take questions which are not in syllabus. Very good. In this case, the correct answer is option 2, right? So we know that it is in response to chemicals. So we call it as chemotropism. Okay. Now if we move on to the next set of questions, if you see this particular question is on metamorphosis, but here in this particular question on metamorphosis, right? We know that here it's a slightly, it's an 8th grade concept. It's very simple, but I'm not going to take it through for this. So I'm going to move on to the next one, okay? I'm not going to pick up question number 6 per se. Question number 5 per se. I'm going to move on to question number 6. Now, question number 6, 7, 8, few of them which are there, they are all subjective and they put marks, 2 marks. 2 subparts are there, that means 1 mark each, right? 1 mark each is going to be there. Now read the question. Yes? As first line of defense, stress hormones are released in humans. As an equivalent, which hormone is most likely to be released as a first line of defense in plants? Yes, you can drink water. So basically the question is, which is the stress hormone? Which is the stress hormone in plants? Can you tell me? Stress hormone. They are saying there is a stress hormone in humans. But which is the stress hormone in plants? Read the question, everybody. Everybody's telling me adrenaline. Somebody's like, oh God, what is this? There's nothing to worry, okay? Read the question. They're saying there is some stress hormone in humans. Which is the stress hormone in humans? It is nothing but it is the adrenaline, right? Adrenaline is a stress hormone. Now they're saying which is a stress hormone in plants. Simple, it is abscisic acid or ABA, right? I don't have space, so I'm just writing abscisic ABA, but ABA is the answer. 1 mark you will get just writing that. This is so easy. Ma'am, plants ko bhi stress hota hai, zarur hota hai plants ko, right? How, ma'am? Because abscisic acid, right? We know that abscisic acid is a stress hormone which is normally produced in some extreme conditions where maybe they will have distress, right? So normally if not enough water is available or not enough nutrient, drought is there, that and this, whatever external condition, we know that in all these cases, right? We know that stress hormone gets produced, right? And which is the stress hormone? That is abscisic acid. Ethylene is not the stress hormone. Ethylene is the ripening hormone, right? It helps in ripening of fruits and it is a gaseous hormone. It is not ethanol. Ethanol is alcohol. Nothing to do with this, okay? Now moving on, 1 mark you will get like this. Let's have a look at the second question, right? There have been reports of plant hormones being found in animal bodies even when they are not synthesized by the animal. What can be the most common pathway of entry of such hormones in animals? Oh, ma'am, what are these words? Think of it's common sense, right? They're saying ki you have plant hormones, right? But somehow plant hormones that is there is managing to enter our body. How is it? Exactly, through food that you eat, right? So the through food that you eat, yes, we know that sometimes there are certain hormones which are sprayed on plants, like for example when you talk about ethylene itself, right? Ethylene we spray ethylene for ripening of fruits, and when you eat the fruit, actually ethylene enters into your body, right? So basically and mainly it is through food, right? Don't say through mouth specific, it is through food, okay? So the correct answer here is food. Very easy, abhi 2 marks you have got as it is with common sense only. You did not have to break your head so much. Now moving on to the next question, question number 7, which is also 2 marks, right? Abhi, how many of you are feeling ki, ma'am, it's becoming better, right? You're feeling more confident, right? They are very simple and easy, no? How many of you are thinking, ma'am, ye nahi ho raha hai mujhse? Or how many of you are feeling, ma'am, it is much better, right? Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, oh. No, don't worry. See guys, they are all halwa questions. Don't worry. Some of you may take a little longer than normal, but don't worry about it, right? Yes. Moving on to question number 7. All right. Now question number 7 is, name one plant hormone that controls directional growth. Okay? Yes. Now directional growth that is there is, of course, we know that directional growth means tropic movement, right? Or tropism that is there, right? We know that it is tropism. Direction means tropism, right? Always remember. Now we know that there is phototropism, there is geotropism, chemotropism, so on and so forth. But in phototropism, there is one hormone which is involved. Exactly. It is auxin. So in this case, again, 2 subparts. So in this case, 1 mark you have got as it is, right? See, they are asking you very easy questions. Just that the way they have phrased the question is different. So break down the words, right? Break down the words and then go on. Balamurgan, you're asking me, ma'am, kaise or how? See, understand, directional growth, that means in response to stimulus, right? So in this case, we see that it is in response to a certain stimulus. That means it will be a tropic movement. And one and only tropic movement mentioned in NCERT is phototropism, wherein we know there is involvement of auxin, right? So this is as simple as that, okay? Very easy. Don't worry, right? Very simple and easy. And yes, there is a Telegram group. The link is there in the description below, right? Are we all clear? Yes or no? Ma'am, what did gibberellins do? They are responsible for stem elongation. They are responsible for seed germination, breaking seed dormancy, right? They are responsible for all of that. Now, ethylene function I will explain, don't worry, but moving on, right? Plant hormones are also referred to as plant growth regulators, and they can be controlled by a number of stimuli. Now mention one point of difference between functioning of animal growth hormone and plant growth hormone with respect to this control. See, let me tell you one thing, right? They are saying plant growth hormones that are there are controlled by stimuli. Now how is it different from animals? Animals, what is the difference, right? Exactly. Plants don't have muscles, animals do. That is not what they are asking. Okay, that is not what they are asking. They are saying plants ko stimuli is involved. Now in animal, when hormones are produced, is stimuli involved, yes or no, right? Yes or no. Is stimulus involved in production of hormone? I just want yes or no. Is stimulus involved? External stimulus, where there is some light or there is something else? No, right? You have nervous system for all of that. You have a nervous system. You don't need endocrine system to be responding to light and, you know, gravity and all of that. No, we don't have that concept. So what is the main point of difference? We see that animal hormones, right? So animal hormones are not, right? So we see that they are not produced. So we see that they are not produced in response to stimuli. While in the other case, like in the examples of maybe auxin, we see that it is in response to light, right? So that is something that you need to do. Exactly, tropism and everything is something that we observe. Now one question is there, right? Role of PNS. PNS is your peripheral nervous system. That means apart from brain and your spinal cord, whatever nerves that emerge from it and all of that are part of PNS. So they are responsible for relaying information between your central nervous system to different parts of the body. So we are clear with this, everyone? We are all clear. Now question number 8 is a very interesting question. Sheila saw a snake and instantly jumped back. Then she slowly moved away from the snake. What is the difference between two activities or the two actions of instantly jumping and walking away, right? What is the, when she instantly jumped, what did she do? Did she really think about it? Did Sheila decide, ki, should I do this, should I do that? Did she think? It was quick and it was instantaneous. That means very good. It is a reflex action, right? So this is involuntary, right? So this is involuntary and it is a reflex action, right? So very good. Now what about walking away? When she walked away slowly, she was thinking and taking steps. So this right here is a voluntary action, right? So this right here is voluntary. Very good, very good. Correct. Everybody take a screenshot if you want to, because I am going to erase it, okay? I am going to erase this right away. Give me thumbs up and we'll get going, right? Very good. Yes, very proud. What is reflex arc? Reflex arc that is there is basically the shortest path taken by the impulse, right? It is taken by the impulse between receptor to effector. Okay, amazing. Now let's move on to the next one. Somebody was asking me about this, so we will go on. See, that's all. These questions are over. 3 more questions and control coordination done. Okay? Now, Hema bought some unripe tomatoes and left half of them in a brown paper bag, and she took other and she left it in an open tray. Okay? So now there are 2 things. We have one which is in a paper bag where we have some tomatoes, and one which is kept in an open tray like this, right? Now after 2 days, she noticed that tomatoes in the paper bag had ripened, but in the open tray had not. Which hormone facilitates ripening? हाँ अंशुमन, shout out आपके लिए. Which facilitates our ripening? Spelling is important. Now all of you have learned carbon and its compound. So when you write ethylene and ethylene, spelling is important. Exactly. Hormone that facilitates this is ethylene, right? Ethylene facilitates this. Now why is it that tomatoes in the paper bag ripened faster? Why not in the other one? Why is it that only in this it ripened faster? To all my new students who are joined, very good and welcome to the class. I am sure that all of you, I hope all of you are enjoying this class, right? Yes, exactly. Ethylene is the spelling, not ethylene. Ethylene. Exactly. We know that this is a gaseous hormone, right? So if this right here is a gaseous hormone, when it's kept in a closed space, it will act on it immediately, right? So that is the function. Now what is the function of cytokinin? For some of you who are asking me, cytokinin function is mainly to promote cell division, right? And we also see that it promotes growth or production of chlorophyll, right? So this is the function of cytokinin. Moving on to question number 10. Yes, easy peasy. This is lemon squeezy question. If you write this, 2 marks. Now while on a roller coaster ride, Aditya noticed that there was an increase in his heartbeat and his breathing. Which hormone is responsible for the changes in Aditya's body? Yes? Who said ethylene is not given? Ethylene is given in NCERT. There is one sentence on it. You go read it. It is there. Very good. The answer here is adrenaline, right? So here you will get 1 mark for this. Now the last question from control and coordination, right? I hope this is the last question. Last one. Plant growth regulators do not always promote growth, right? Cite one example in the above statement and mention the action of the same. So now they're saying that if plant growth regulators are there, which are nothing but plant hormones, it does not mean that all hormones promote growth. There are some hormones which do not promote growth, right? So which hormone is it? Auxin doesn't promote growth. Who told me auxin? ABA, exactly, right? ABA is what does not promote growth. We just learned that ABA here is a stress hormone, right? So we know that ABA is a stress hormone here. So in this case, what will it do? Stress hormone means it will cause aging, right? So stress hormone will do all negative things, okay? Aging, then senescence, right? That means falling off of, old leaves, right? It will cause dormancy. So these are all not positive impacts of growth, right? They are all negative impacts. Now somebody told me Gokul knew is like, ma'am, I did not understand 9B. See, 9B is very simple. I'm going to use pink maybe so that you can you can see better. 9B is saying that hormone that facilitates ripening is ethylene, right? But we're saying that when ethylene here is a gaseous hormone, okay? It is a gaseous hormone. Now when tomatoes are here kept in an open tray, the gas can diffuse outside, which means ripening will take longer, right? But in this case, when it is kept inside a paper bag, the hormone will be here only. That means ripening process will happen faster, right? So that is something. Ma'am, is hormone not produced is adrenaline not produced towards stimulus? See, adrenaline is a tricky space, right? Because adrenaline, we cannot literally say it's stimulus per se, but it's a situation or a danger. So that could be something which would be difficult, right? Now everyone, okay, Aditya, if you're struggling to understand in my class, it's okay, you are free, you are free to leave, right? Okay. Now everybody, very quickly. Yes, 9A also I have explained it. 9A is what? Ripening is by gaseous hormone, which is ethylene, right? So the hormone that is released is ethylene. So everybody, very quickly, out of 10, right? How much are you feeling after solving competency questions? How many of you are feeling confident? Out of 10, what do you feel? 10 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 5 out of 10. मजा आ गया? हाँ, somebody said 1 out of 10. अरे 1 out of 10 नहीं होना चाहिए अभी. See, अगर concepts में doubt है, जाके go watch the marathon, go watch the one shot, do your reading, right? See, I want to understand if you are understanding the trick of solving competency questions. Yes? Dormancy means it will not germinate, right? That is what it is there. Ma'am, question number 6 one more time. Okay, I'm just deleting this. Let me go back to question number 6. But we need to pace it up. Question number 6 is easy. They are saying that there is a stress hormone in human body. Now, is there a stress hormone in plants is what they are asking. But they have not asked you directly, they have asked you indirectly, right? So what is the first line of defense in plants, which is the stress hormone which is produced in plants? It is nothing but ABA, right? And secondly, they are saying that even if, right, they're saying that there have been reports that plant hormone was not produced in animal body, but in this case, we see that there can be traces of plant hormone in our body. How is it? Because of the food that we eat, right? Yes, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, everybody, yes, you need to like the video also. Now with this, control coordination ho gaya. Now I'm going to scroll and we are going to go till our environment, okay? Our environment questions are brilliant, okay? Very good questions from our environment, and you will get these questions because chances of this coming in exam are very, very high, okay? So everyone pay attention when we do our environment, all right? Now there are a lot of case-based questions also, so let me quickly go towards the end. All right. In the meanwhile, bachas, go ahead and hit the like button also. Don't forget to like the video. Do not forget to subscribe. For all of you who are very new to the class, right? Hit the subscribe button quickly, quickly. Yes, all right. Oh, there are a lot of questions in physics. I feel like you will enjoy it. Okay. So our environment, chapter 15 is here, right? Chapter 15, are we ready? All right. Are we ready for chapter 15? Jaldi, jaldi. We will pace up the time now, right? Somebody said, Mom, I did not understand dormancy. See, dormancy is basically when the seed does not, it's dormant. It doesn't do anything, right? So that is what we understand by dormancy, okay? Yes, very good. Let's rock it. Now we are going to our environment. Now our environment has a lot of passage. Okay, they have a lot of case-based questions. So let's have a look at the first one. Now see, you have a case which is given to you. Let's all read it together. Okay? Shall we all read it together? All right, let's get started. Okay. Who is already telling ma'am dar lag raha hai? Kyun? Let's read it together. Okay, don't worry. Now I'm reading it out loud, read it with me. Hydrogen gas is an excellent fuel. It has high calorific value and produces only water as the product of combustion. It is considered to be a potentially important, non-polluting energy source for the future. Hydrogen is labeled with different colors based on the method by which it is produced as given below. So that means they're saying hydrogen is very clean, all of that. But what happens is that there are different types of hydrogen, right? So we see that there is green hydrogen, there is blue hydrogen and grey hydrogen. Now what is this green hydrogen? Okay, green hydrogen does not produce, that means no carbon dioxide. Okay, I'm writing this as no CO2. While blue hydrogen produces CO2, right, but it is separated. So I'm just going to say separated CO2. While we have grey hydrogen that is there, which produces carbon dioxide. So there is something called as grey hydrogen as well, right? Now this is what is given to you. Now moving on to our question. Okay, our question is, hydrogen is labeled brown if manufacturing releases both carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide in the air, right? So it is carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide. In what way is the manufacturing process of brown hydrogen worse when compared to grey hydrogen, right? How is it worse for the environment? Now we see here that it releases into the atmosphere a gas that is directly causing a greenhouse effect. It releases into the atmosphere carbon which was stored for millions of years. It releases into a gas that is toxic to human beings. It releases into the atmosphere gases that cause acid rain. I am happy that I can see there are two answers wherein there are confusion. Some of you are confused with one, some of you are confused with three. That means we know that it is not talking about releasing carbon dioxide into, for millions of years, and neither is it going to cause acid rain, because acid rain main causative agents are your nitrites, your oxides of nitrogen and sulfur, right? Leaving you with the first two. Now we're talking about it releases a gas that directly causes greenhouse effect. Carbon dioxide, yes, maybe. Carbon monoxide, not so much, right? But as a matter of fact, we know that there is carbon monoxide poisoning, right? So we know that if carbon monoxide is there, it can cause lot of issues, right? It can, in the sense that it can cause poisoning. Yes. So in this case, what is the case, or what is the answer? Correct answer is option 3. Very simple. It is toxic to human beings. If monoxide is there, then you know the answer, right? We'll try our best to finish it as soon as possible. I'm pacing it up with my best, right? Now the next one here is a very interesting question, okay? What is the ratio of average amount of energy absorbed by producers, okay? Producers to average amount of energy absorbed by consumers, right? So we're talking about consumers, producers to consumers, right? How much energy is absorbed? We're talking about energy absorbed by producers to primary consumers. Yes, we are talking about the ratio, right? So what would be the answer? 10% law. If it is 10% law, then what is it going to be? Yes. Now when you're writing ratio, right, we are saying 2 and 2, right? Energy, average amount is what we are talking about. Ratio of average amount, right? So ma'am, just give me one moment, everybody. Yes, everybody, well done. See, in this case, right, we're talking about average amount of energy that gets absorbed, right? Here, because average amount is mentioned, it is going to be 10:1, right? It is going to be 10:1. Easy peasy. Yes, 10:1 is the answer. Now, let's move on to the third one, okay? Third one is, which of the following describes, right? Which of the following that is there? Yes, I know some of you are like asking me, ma'am, how is that the answer? See, now the thing is, we're talking about average amount of energy, and when we take the percentage, it is consumer to producer, right? Consumer to producer will be 10:1, right? So that is something that you need to know. All right, moving on to the next one. Which of the following describes flow of energy? Yes, flow of energy and nutrients respectively through the ecosystem, right? We're talking about how flow of energy. How is flow of energy happening? It is unidirectional. So all your options can, on wherever bidirectional is there, you can remove. Now you're saying flow of energy and then nutrients, right? So nutrients is cyclic. It goes a whole circle. That means it's consumed and then of course goes back to decomposers, then to plants and then goes back. So it is unidirectional flow of energy. Flow of nutrients is cyclic. Correct answer is option 2. Yes, very easy. Okay. Now moving on to the next one, everybody, let's move on to this where we again have a case-based question, right? So what is the case given to us here? Shown here is the extent to which different animals can either see without turning their heads, okay? So you have animal 1 which is able to see this much without turning its head, but its whole range of vision is only so much, right? That means eyes are present in front, okay? Now in animal 2, we see that this is how much they are able to see in front together. So both eyes are able to see so much. But one eye alone is able to see this much. So it has wide range of vision, right? It has a wide range of vision that is there. Now we see that this is because the placement of eyes in two animals are different and their vision is also different. Now in the figures given, the gray part represents how much they can see with both eyes at one go, right? So this is both eyes and this is with one eye each, right? This is their range of vision. This is what is going to be mentioned, right? Are we clear so far? Are we all clear? Yes? Are we clear with this? Give me a thumbs up. Yes, yes. Okay. Ma'am, why hydrogen peroxide? See, hydrogen peroxide wala one you ask Kriti ma'am. Okay? Yes. Now, let's move on. Yes? So, let's see what the question is. Animal 2 can see broader area while animal 1 can be seen this. Animal 1 has better depth when compared to animal 2. Okay. Now based on this, which of the two animal is likely to be a predator? Animal 1 or animal 2? Can you tell me? Animal 1 or animal 2? Aryan Bacha, I will clarify your doubt. But just give me one moment. Yes, all right. Animal 1 is a predator or animal 2 is a predator? Exactly. See, how will you decide what is a predator? We know that a predator is one which has eyes in front, right? And they will stay focused on their prey so that they can hunt them down. While on the other hand, the prey which gets hunted down by the predator will have eyes on the side, right? You've seen deer, you have seen rabbit, all of them have eyes on sides, right? Rats, all of them have eyes on the side, so that if they have to run and escape, they will be able to do that, right? So in this case, what is the answer here? We see that animal 1 is the predator, okay? So answer here is animal 1. Are we clear? Are we clear? Ma'am, I did not understand this case. See, they have given it to you little indirectly, right? They have given you range of vision. So they have given you range of vision, and what they have done is they are saying ki this is how much both eyes can see, right? Both eyes can see this much together. But here this is how much one eye of the animal can see. Now here if you notice, there is wide range of vision by one eye, okay? Either side pe they have wide range, right? But together they are only able to see little. So in this case, what does this mean? Here eyes are in front, right? While here eyes are on side, okay? So that is what is given to us. What is a predator? Predator is lion, tiger, all of your things which hunt other animals, right? So that is what you need to understand. Now this chapter may say one case based will come for sure. So you have to pay attention. Now based on that, right? We have so this is what they have asked us. And if you identify this, no? We see that based on this, which of the two animals is likely to be a predator and why? Why I have already explained, because of how they have straight eyes, their range of vision is fixed and they are able to focus on the organism. Yes? Now moving on. We have a food web which is given to us. A food web which is given to us. You need to identify all the animals which are predators, which all come under the category of animal 1. That is your predator. And which all come under animal 2. That is the prey. Can you tell me which will all come in animal 1? How is all this connected to the chapter? Because they're talking about food chain and food web, right? Food chain, food web. So indirectly they are asking you to identify which would be a quaternary consumer, which would be a tertiary consumer. Think of all animals with eyes in front, right? Eyes in front here include lion, it includes kite, it includes jackal, right? And then you have wildcat, yes? And then of course you have owl. And if you look at all of these cases, more or less they are tertiary or quaternary consumers, right? They are all tertiary or quaternary consumer. But in this case, right, if you look at animal 2, you have goat, rabbit, mouse, yes? And if you look at all of them, goat, rabbit, mouse, can you tell me what is common in them? Quickly in the chat, what is common between three of them about their eyes? Can you tell me? Everybody in the chat. Ma'am, green plant is not animal. No, green plant is not there. Exactly. Side eyes, right? Eyes are in the side. Yes, very good. So which is why in this case we know that what are the correct answers that are there. So here you have to write this down and totally you will get how many marks which is allocated for this. We see that there's 1 mark, I think. Yeah, so very simple. You will get 1 mark to identify this, right? Yes, yes. Okay. Now let's quickly move on to the question number 6. Arrange the 4 objects according to time that is taken for them to get degraded from least to most, right? Okay, from least to most. Ma'am, how is it related to humans? It's not related to humans. It's just related to animals, right? Ma'am, how is animal one, or how is owl an animal one? It is a predator, right? It feeds on mouse. It's a predator. And we see that its range of vision is like this, right? So which is why in this case it's the correct answer. Okay? Ma'am, where are you getting this from? CBSE has released official competency papers, right? So this is there. In the beginning I've shown you how to get it. Yes, I will be. 10 more minutes. I'll be done. 10 more minutes. I'm going to finish one more chapter and then Ankita ma'am is going to come. 9:30 Ankita ma'am will come. So fatafat we'll finish. Right? So in this case, from least time, bone is going to take least amount of, paper sheet, sorry. Paper sheet is going to take least amount of time, followed by bone. Then you have metal can, right? And then last but not the least, we have plastic bottle, right? So this is how it will go. And again, you will get 1 mark for this. Okay, now moving on to these two. Answer the following, right? Answer the following about the transfer of materials in an ecosystem, right? Why is bone second? Bone takes longer when compared to paper sheet, right? Paper can be decomposed faster while bone takes longer amount of time, right? Okay. Now here we're talking about mention 2 ways in which energy is lost from trophic levels. So when we're talking about transfer of energy across an ecosystem, mention 2 ways, right? Mention 2 ways in which energy is lost from trophic levels. Metal takes more time than bone. No. First is paper sheet, least amount of time. Then bone, then metal can, right? And last में it is plastic bottle. Okay. Very good. So we know that from heat or through loss of heat, there could be loss of energy, right? And along with that, right, we know that in this case, we know that through life processes, right? So in this case, through life processes, we know that when there is consumption through life processes, we know that heat or energy can be lost as well, right? Yes, I will explain that ratio wala question. I'll go back to it, okay? Now, a lot more harmful chemicals enter through our body through different sources like food. Since human beings are at the top of the food chain or trophic structure, maximum concentration of such chemicals is found. What is this phenomenon known as? Very quickly. What is this phenomenon known as? Yes? Exactly. So, in this case, it is biomagnification, right? So, it is called as biomagnification. Yes, right? But you're saying, ma'am, kite is having in the side. No, if it is in the side, it will be like this, okay? Eyes will be pointing here. Here the eyes, even though they are a little apart, they are looking here, right? Yes. Okay. Ma'am, producer to consumer is 10:1. See, that's what I said. No. I know there's a little bit of confusion that is happening, which is why we'll go to 10:1, okay? 10:1, that is, there is the answer we are going to. We're saying 100, right? You're saying, ma'am, we should take 100 by 10, right? Then when you take the ratio, 100 by 10% if you take, we know that then it will get cut, which is 10:1, which is why the answer, we'll go with this. There are 2 ways of interpreting, which is why I said, well, let's go with option number 4. Yes? All right. Shall we move on? We are going to move on to the next one. Okay, we are going to move on to question number 8, which is a case-based question. Chances of this coming are very, very high. Yes? Very, very high. Okay? Now, the stratosphere is very dry and it rarely allows clouds to form. Now, in extreme cold of polar winter, however, stratospheric clouds are formed in different types, right? And we call them as polar stratospheric clouds. Yes? Polar stratospheric clouds, okay? Scientists recently discovered that these have played a very important role, right? So polar stratospheric clouds over time have actually contributed towards the destruction of the ozone, okay? And with, of course, over time, it has been having increasing frequency in Arctic. Now, they've also given you a lot of other information. These high altitude clouds formed only at very low temperatures help destroy ozone in 2 ways. They provide a surface to which they convert benign forms of chlorine into reactive ozone destroying forms. They remove nitrogen. Lot of information given to you. But I have read the important part that is there. Yes? Now, the question they have asked, how is ozone formed? Ozone formation. This particular question or the whole thing will come for 5 marks. Like I said, chances of this kind of question coming in your exam is very, very high, right? Okay, very high. Brajendra, if I've missed some doubt that I did not clear, you let me know in the comments of this video. I will clarify it for you, right? Yes. So here you will get 1 mark, or 2 marks for this, right? 2 marks. So we know that oxygen will first break into oxygen atoms in the presence of UV rays, right? And we know that O2 plus O will again give you ozone. 2 steps you write, 2 marks you will get. Alright, 2 marks, 2 steps you have to write. Now moving on. Ozone is being continuously destroyed due to extreme temperature. However, the ozone formation is also a continuous process. Why is there a depletion of ozone layer still? Why is there a depletion of ozone layer? Can you tell me? Why is there a depletion? See, they have given you a lot of stories, okay? But you just need to understand essence of it, right? Essence is all that you need to do. Exactly. So there is still release of CFCs, right? And of course, we also know that in this particular case, right? Somebody was asking me, ma'am, 6B control coordination is part of our syllabus. Yes, yes. Can you please go there once? Syed, I will not be able to go there now. I'll do it towards the end of the class. Okay. Now we know that there is CFCs and we know that the rate of destruction of ozone, right? So basically rate of destruction of ozone is much greater than the rate of formation that is there, right? So rate of destruction is happening so much more faster than rate of formation, which is why still there is rate of, there is still depletion of ozone happening, right? Ma'am, as per blueprint, this chapter does not contain. This will come for case based. Section E to pakka aega. Someone question. So be careful, prepare. These are the kind of questions you will get, okay? Now moving on. What can be a positive effect of global warming on the depletion of ozone layer? Now this is a tricky one which is based on the paragraph that is given to you, right? So this is coming from the paragraph that they have given. So if you go back, I'm just going to delete this part. They have said that in stratospheric clouds especially, right? We see that due to the low temperatures, there is formation of polar stratospheric clouds. Right? So we see that low temperatures are causing the formation of this. That is also destroying ozone. So ideally the silver lining in this case with respect to global warming is that there will be high temperature, right? There's going to be higher temperature. That means no polar stratospheric clouds that will form, right? And as a result, what will happen? We know that this is going to be helpful, right? That means this is a silver lining that is there, right? Now moving on. How does ozone depletion impact human health? 1 mark you have to tell me. Jaldi, jaldi. This is a very good question. Very, very good question. Yes, very good. Causes skin cancer. Yes, what else? We also know that it can cause other problems, right? UV rays can cause damage. It can cause immunity disorders. Yes, very good, right? So you will have to write any 1 or 2 consequence of ozone damage, right? So you will need to write these 2 pointers very clearly. Now let's move on to last question from our environment, right? Lions have no natural known predators, right? Based on energy transfer of food chain, what is the most likely reason for the above statement? Yes? Who is this unnecessarily spreading hate in the chat? If you have an issue, please leave the class. Nobody's forcing you to be here. If you want to learn, please be nice. Please maintain the decorum of the class because see, you have exams coming very soon, right? So this is something that you have to learn, right? Exactly, due to the 10% law, but most importantly, it is not 10% law, but rather it is also the food chain, right? So we know that in the food chain, lions are normally the quaternary, right? They are the quaternary, they are either the tertiary or the quaternary consumer, right? And after that, most often than not, you really don't have anybody there, yes? Which is why in this case, they are almost, in their food chain, they will be at the trophic level, right? They will be the highest of the trophic level, which is why in this case, we see that they are most likely. So based on transfer of energy, after that, there is nobody eating a lion, right? They are at the topmost, which is why in this case, we see that after that, there is nobody, right? It's not that they don't get the required amount of energy, just that there is nobody after the lion, right? So they are, after that, they don't really have any natural known predators. Decomposers are there, of course, but no natural predators, right? They are at the top. Yes, all right. Now, somebody is telling, ma'am, didn't understand. See, if you take a food chain, you have plant, you have deer, you have lion. Now, after lion, is there somebody who is going to hunt the lion? No, right? Maybe decomposer will come, okay? But in this, after lion, that's it. It ends here, right? So in this case, we see that when they say it has no known natural predators, that means naturally there is no organism who's going to hunt the lion down and kill it, right? Nobody is going to do that. So in this case, humans, see, we don't feed on lion. We may hunt a lion, but we don't feed on it per se, right? So that is why in this case, we see that because they are either tertiary or quaternary producers, we see that they have no natural known predators. So everybody, like I said, now for those of you who want to leave the class right now, it's okay, you can leave and watch it later. I said this is not, I'm not forcing anybody to be here, you can always watch it later. But out of 10 now, what is your confidence level? Yes? What is the confidence level? Quickly, in the chat, I need you to tell me. Every chapter is important, bacha. All chapters are important, but life process, your how do organisms, our environment, very, very important along with heredity, right? Environment chapter ko case-based question you will get for sure. The ozone kind of question you can get, right? So chances are very, very high. And for those of you who are still struggling with the answers or struggling with how to go about it, spend some time and learn, okay? Take time and solve. Because bio may only if you feel like you're struggling, physics, chemistry, you will get even more scared. So don't get scared first of all, right? All right, okay. So now everybody very quickly, yes? Okay. So now quickly in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to wind up how do organisms reproduce. It's very, very easy. There's nothing to worry about. I will finish it super duper quick and hand it over to Ankita ma'am for taking up the last 2 chapters, okay? So let's quickly move. And in the meanwhile, I hope all of you here are hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button. If you are enjoying the class, let me know as well. It's very, very important that you enjoy the class, right? Okay. Let me just go ahead. All right, everybody, let's go on, right? I'll do one thing. I'm going to finish this, right? I'm going to quickly go ahead. I'm going to finish how do organisms and then we'll give you a short 2-minute, 5-minute break. How do organisms is very easy. It is so easy, I'm telling you. Only some of them are a little out of syllabus, so don't worry about that, right? Okay, heart diagram you don't need to know for board exam, so I'm not going to do, okay? Now, assertion, reason, question for all of you who keep running away from it. Assertion, reason. Assertion says that oral contraceptive pills and copper tea do not prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Reason being that sexually transmitted diseases are transmitted by contact with mucous membranes or infected organs. So in this case, what is the correct answer? Put a Y. Why are, if first and foremost both the statements are true, right? Both statements are true. Oral contraceptive pills and copper tea do not prevent sexually transmitted disease. True. Sexually transmitted disease are transmitted by contact. Okay, both are true. Now is it the correct explanation? How will you check? Put a Y after it, right? Put a Y. So now in this case, why is it that oral pills and copper tea don't prevent sexually transmitted disease? Why? Because for a sexually transmitted disease to be transmitted, it needs to come in contact. There needs to be sexual contact. Which is why here the answer is 1. That both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation for A, right? R is the correct explanation for A. Yes? Ma'am, it's fluid. No, not always, right? Sexual contact, it could be through fluid or contact with mucous membranes, which is why sometimes the inner linings of the reproductive tract can have warts, it can have, growth. So that is why you need to understand, right? See, mucous membrane of infected organs, right? So basically when they are transmitted when in contact, right? That is what you need to understand. So going ahead, right? Oral pills and copper tea do not prevent, right? They don't prevent sexually transmitted disease. They are contraceptives, okay? What are contraceptives? Contraceptives here prevent unwanted pregnancy. That is different from STD. Remember that. They prevent unwanted pregnancy. Yes, they don't prevent STD. For STD, if they say, okay, maybe barrier method does it, fine. But in this case, we know that why is it that oral pill or copper tea don't do it? Because for it to be transmitted, we know that they come in contact with mucous membrane, right? Mucous membrane is nothing but the inner linings, right? The inner linings of the tract that is there, right? Inner lining of the tract, that is what you need to understand, okay? So it's very simple. Correct answer here is option 1. Now let's move on. Okay. Now let's quickly move on to the next one, right? Now diagram here represents the male reproductive system. Jaldi tell me what is A, B. Okay, I will actually show it to you. Yeah. Identify P, Q, R and S and then identify which part is responsible for secretion of testosterone. Ma'am, how is assertion statement true? Assertion statement true is because contraceptives and copper tea do not prevent, right? It is true. They don't prevent STD. They are not responsible for preventing STD. They prevent pregnancy. STD is different. Yes. What is the answer? Most of you have got it, right? We know that S here is the testis, right? And testis is responsible for producing testosterone. So the correct answer here is option 4. Now moving on to the next one. This is question number 3, right? Question number 3 is, in biological sex of an individual, the biological sex of an individual is only determined by the sperm cell. Is the statement true or false? Yes or no? Is the statement true or false? Yes, somebody is telling me no. See, don't go too much in detail, right? So we know that this right here is true. And why so? Because we know that the sperm that is there will either have the X chromosome or they will have the Y chromosome. While all eggs that are there will have only X chromosome. So based on the genetic constitution of the sperm, we see that it will determine the sex of an individual. So if you write this, you will get 2 marks. Okay? Very good. Ma'am, will condom prevent STD? Chances are, okay, chances are. But like I said, if it comes in contact with an infected organ, okay, and say the external genitalia is not protected or if some other part comes in contact, there are still chances of transmission, right? But better chances than oral pills and the other one. Now next one is one like, very huge fancy question. One Venn diagram and all is given, right? All Venn diagrams given, math is coming. Ma'am, it is very tough. Yeah, in NCERT, like I said, it's not that it does not prevent, right? Chances are higher that it will prevent. Mala D cannot prevent STD, right, ma'am? No. Yes, AIDS, yes. Somebody's already crying. Oh, ma'am, maths and bio. What is this? How many of you are already ready to run away? Arey, ma'am, nahi hoga. Yes, STD is sexually transmitted disease. Okay, coming back, right? Now everybody quickly. Yes, everybody's like, ma'am, ayayo, yeah. This is damn easy, nothing much. Okay, nothing much is there in this. I'm seriously telling you. Now in this particular one, you have a Venn diagram where you have P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W. Okay, but you need to understand that here we're talking about internal fertilization, right? This particular circle is on internal fertilization. This circle here represents the development of embryo within the mother's body. And this is when embryo gets nutrition directly from the mother's body. Okay? Yes. So this is what is given to us. Now, quickly, name any one animal whose mode of reproduction is represented by region P. Okay? Now let's go and see which is region P. Now we have region P here, which is given to us. And you need to give any one example of an animal, right? Or name any one animal who is represented, right? So let me just do this. This is region P. That means it shows internal fertilization, but embryo does not develop. I know everybody will tell me human, but wait for twist. They are saying only internal fertilization. Embryo, that means they are not saying embryo development inside mother's body, right? And embryo gets nutrition directly from mother. Only internal fertilization, but the development does not happen within the mother's body. What will it be? Somebody is telling me flower. No. But that's actually an interesting answer. Reptiles, okay. Birds, exactly. Not frog and fish. Frog and fish, wrong. Okay. But it will be birds, right? Because we know that in birds, internal fertilization happens, right? Internal fertilization happens, but development of the young one takes place inside eggs. Yes? Hen is also an example. So if you go back here, we see that in this case, the correct answer is birds. You can write. Okay? Yes, very good. Fish lay eggs. Exactly. Now we have another one which is given to us. Okay, this is actually simple. Don't get worried. In the description, there is some fish called as guppy fish. Okay, there is some fish called as guppy fish. Now they said that guppies are live bearing fish. Their gestation period is maybe 21 to 30 days. And they're saying that once inseminated, the female guppy fishes, they can actually store the sperm in the ovary. Okay, and they can continue to fertilize the ova. So they can keep it in the body and they can keep fertilizing the egg for maybe 8 months. Meaning that the female can give birth to the male's offspring even after the male is dead. Even after male has died, we see that it is able to give birth, right? It is still able to fertilize and give birth. Now here, based on whatever has been given to us, what did they say? Fertilization happens, right? Fertilization can be happens within the body, right? And they're saying it can give birth to the male one, right? Which labeled region does guppy fish belong to? Now we have to go back to our Venn diagram. Which part does it belong to? Now there are two things, right? Two things. Inseminated means semen enters, right? Yes. Okay. What would be the answer? Most of you are saying, ma'am, it should be region S, right? It should be region S. Okay. It should be region S. All right. Now here they are saying it can also, they can either give birth. It could also be R, right? So if they are giving birth, they are also getting nutrition from mother's body. So here actually, right, it could be either R or it could be S. But the thing is, that is what the second part of the question comes to. They have not given us information of whether it can actually, it is getting nutrition from the mother, right? It is actually not giving us information of whether it gets nutrition from the mother. Which is why that is the information, right? What additional information do we need? If it is actually getting nutrition from the mother, right? Is it actually getting that? So that is what the answer here is. Okay. So now basically guppy fish, they are saying ki internal fertilization can happen. They can store the sperm within their body for a long period of time and fertilization can take place, right? So now what they are saying is just that. They are also saying that they can give birth. Okay. So that is what you need to understand. Now everybody quickly moving on to the next one. This is a little higher end, but this is an easy one, right? This is very easy. Okay. In vitro fertilization is the process of fusion of human egg and sperm outside the male body. After fertilization, the zygote is allowed to develop into an embryo for 2 to 6 days. The embryo is then implanted into the woman's uterus. Which labeled region in the diagram best represents this? So let's go back to our Venn diagram, right? So we are talking about IVF, in vitro fertilization. That means Fusion is outside the body, right? So fusion is outside the body, right? The embryo that is there is also formed outside, right? And then we also know that only embryo will get implanted later and development will happen inside. Yes? So development will happen inside. So what is the region that best represents it? Yes? So it has nothing to do with anywhere. So all of this is cancelled. P, Q, R, S is cancelled because it's all overlapping with internal fertilization. So development of embryos within the mother's body, embryos getting nutrition. So it is actually U, right? Embryo formation is not in mother's body. But here they're talking about embryo developing. That is there, right? So U is the correct answer. So see, you have to overlap a little bit and go about it, okay? Now moving on to the next one. I think last few questions, right? Last few questions, fatafat we'll go and I'll hand it over to Ankita ma'am. Bindu wants to produce hybrid variety of tomatoes. She has tomato plants X and Y belonging to two different varieties. One with smooth long fruits and the other one with wrinkled round fruits. So now we know that tomato has bisexual flowers, right? So and she's done some few steps, okay? First what she did, she took the parts of a flower of tomato plant X just before the flowers bloom. So we have some plant X, right? She removes a certain part from plant X. Then she manually pollinates the flower of plant X using pollen grain from plant Y. Okay? So she has taken pollen grain from plant Y. Yes? She has taken pollen grain from plant Y. This is not heredity. And she ties small plastic bags around pollinated flowers of tomato X. Now they're asking this. Bindu carried out step number 1, right? Which part did she remove? That is what she is asking. Which part did she remove? See, she took pollen grain from part Y. So which part has she removed in plant X? Tell me. Which part has she removed in plant X? See, they have given you the answer in the question only. Exactly. Yes, they have removed stamen, right? They have removed stamen in this case. Okay, they have removed stamen, which is why they removed stamen from here, took pollen grains from plant Y, and then she put the pollen on top of it and then she closed it, right? So she removed the anther specifically, I would say. Not stamen, but she has removed the anther. So see, you have one flower, X. You have another flower, which is Y. Okay. Now she has removed some part X. Now what did she do? She took pollen from this, put it here, and then she covered this whole thing with a plastic bag. Right? So if she's taking pollen from this, then which part would she have ideally removed? She would have of course kept the pistil, but she has removed the pollen grain. Right? Or she has removed the anther. So don't worry about it. Wo guppy fish wala one, don't worry. Don't worry about the guppy fish one. Okay? Now moving on to the next one. Plants produce through vegetative propagation are genetically identical to the parent. What could be the biggest disadvantage of vegetative propagation? Yes? Ma'am, so both stamen and anther are correct. Yeah, to an extent. But because anther more accurate, stamen also can be removed, right? Yes, exactly, right? So there is less genetic diversity or less genetic variation, right? So less genetic variation that is there. Now moving on to the next one. A farmer bought some strawberries. He likes to taste it. He decided to grow it on his own. Which method should he adopt to grow strawberries, right? Which method should he adopt for growing strawberries? Yes, don't be disappointed after English exam. Science will be much better. That is our hope, right? Yes, very good. It is vegetative propagation. So easy. Vegetative propagation. Now, why will farmer use this method? Why is farmer using vegetative propagation? What is the need behind it, right? Yes, everyone. Yes, no seeds, right? So in this case, we see that there is no seeds that are there, right? And we know that he will be able to grow larger amount of plants in a shorter period of time, right? So this is going to be identical to the parent, right? And we know that he's able to grow it faster and he wants to have the same taste, yes? So in order to conserve parental characteristics, yes, he wants to conserve or have parental characteristics, he is going to do vegetative propagation, yes? Now last question everyone, second last actually. What are the two reasons as to why unicellular organisms reproduce only through asexual reproduction? Very, very important question. Chances of this question coming in your board exam are very high, okay? Very high that is there. This is going to be there. Yes? Alright, you can get this question in your board exam, right? So what is the reason behind it? Simple body organization. Yes, very good. So we have simple body organization, right? And that means we know that large number of offsprings, right? Large number of offsprings can be produced at a shorter period of time. Yes, and they are able to survive. Yes, so we know that they don't produce gametes and they are able to survive at different conditions. Yes, no gametes are involved, right? Yes, again. So no gametes or they don't produce gametes because they are mostly unicellular organisms. So everybody make a note of this. This question is super duper important. Now moving on to the last question, which is for 3 marks. Okay. Planarians can regenerate. Our favorite regeneration question, right? So planarians can regenerate lost body parts due to presence of specialized cells called as neoblasts. These specialized cells can multiply and make a large mass of cells from different cells that undergo changes to become different types of cells and tissue. In plants, which type of tissues, which cells have similar function to neoblast? That means there are some specialized cells whose role is only to grow. So in plant, which is the one tissue which is only responsible for growing? Very good, exactly, right? It is the meristematic tissue. So here, what is the role? Neoblast is only for growth. So in this case, which will only keep growing? It is the meristematic tissue, right? Now, how do the characteristics of the planaria formed by regeneration? What are the characteristics or what is the difference between original planaria and regenerated planaria? Anything different or they are the same? Yes? Original planaria, same or different? Yes, they are the same, right? It is going to be identical and there is going to be no difference because how? By the process of regeneration where the role, right, is to get back or regenerate the lost parts. So they are going to be the same. Yes? So with this everybody, we are done with 3 chapters, right? You don't need to learn yes, you need to know importance of meiosis with respect to sex determination and all that, but don't worry about it. And see, for all of you who are still little worried about questions, don't worry. We are going to do more and more practice, so you have nothing to worry about. But confidence level out of 10, where are we? Ma'am, if we revise this, is this revision enough? You only tell me what is your confidence level from morning to evening, right? What is your confidence level? That's what I want you to tell me. Totally. Somebody is telling me, ma'am, 5 out of 10. What is this, bacha? Why is it 5 out of 10? Should be at least 7, right? 7 to 9 you should do, right? Guppy fish wala one, we'll do it towards the end, but now I'm going to hand it over to Ankita ma'am because she has to do the next 2 chapters. I'll again take it later on also, right? I'll constantly keep doing it. If you are having 7 and above, I am proud of you. If you are feeling it is below 7, then I will quickly do one thing. Go and revise the concepts that you are not sure of, right? So everybody, we will have a 5-minute break, sorry. Ankita ma'am, can we give them a 5-minute break?
Yes. And if you want to take a doubt, you take. So that it's all clear and done.
Yes, I think no ma'am, more or less it's sorted.
Okay. So we can have break now.
So 5 minutes break everybody, okay. After which Ankita ma'am is going to finish off the last 2 chapters, right? Go wash your face a little more, right? Now of course everyone, ma'am, somebody's telling me ma'am same doubt. Hey guppy fish, y'all don't take tension, right? Don't take tension. Yes, somebody's telling me ma'am guppy fish. See, guppy fish, let me tell you one thing. They have given you saying that They have told you guppy fish mein ki there is internal fertilization. They've given you indirectly telling sperms enter into the body. Inseminated means it's going inside the female body, right? Internal fertilization, and they're saying they will give birth, right? Now the thing is it actually getting nutrition from the mother? That is not given to us in the paragraph. So we are not sure. Okay, that is what they are only asking. What else do you need to know? Paragraph mein they should say that, you know what, it is the embryo development takes place within the mother, right? So that should be there. Meristematic tissue, it is there, bacha. In your 9th standard only you will learn meristematic tissue. May we know that there are cells which are primarily, they are only growing, right? So that is something. Ma'am, it is not. Somebody is asking me, ma'am, not guppy fish. Question number 5, control coordination. Which was question number 5. I have the printout here. Metamorphosis is not coming out of syllabus. I am not taking it. Okay? 5 minutes break and Ankita ma'am is going to come. See you all soon. Yes?
Got it. We are coming. Yeah, we are here only. Yes. Now I hope that you can hear me. Yes. Now it's perfectly audible. So now everyone, we are done with the 3 very important chapter, right? And now we'll be starting with the very important chapter which is heredity. Okay? So let's get started. So this was how do organisms reproduce, and here we'll be taking a look at the heredity. Okay. Everyone, I hope that you are excited. Right? See, very easy question. So in this particular paper, right, basically in this particular competency questions, right, the CBSE have mentioned about the evolution part also, but please don't worry because we don't have to pay attention to those questions. They are not at all, in the radar of coming in your examination. So please don't worry about those questions. We will be looking forward to only, we know that, right, we'll be looking at the questions that we have for the heredity, right? So we have very few questions over here, so let's get started. Okay, here we go everyone to the first question. The first question is not there. Thank God, it's really very lengthy. It's from the evolution. So here we have the question which is over here. Now I hope that you can see question number 5, all of you, right? And this is the question that we have. It's a very easy question. Yes. Out of syllabus. Here we have, okay, there is a question in out of syllabus, question number 5B part. Question number 5 is this, okay. So question number 1, 2, 3 and 4 are definitely not a part. Here everyone, let's go. Attached earlobes in humans is an inherited condition, right? We get the attached earlobe from our parents. It's an inherited conditions, right? The allele for the attached earlobes is recessive. So we know that the allele that we have for the attached earlobes, right, is recessive. What are the chances of a parents both having attached earlobes to have a child which is with the attached earlobe? See, if both the parents have this attached, right, it very clearly means that both of them are recessive, and so the progeny, all of them will have the attached earlobe. See, recessive trait will be able to express only when they are present with the recessive traits. So if it attach, right, then only they will be able to express. So 100%, very good. So let's move ahead to the next question, which is question number 6 everyone. Monohybrid cross. Today only we discussed it, right? What is the earlobe? This one, where we have the piercing on the ear, that is earlobe, right? Sometimes it is attached to the skin and sometimes it is not. Okay. Next question everyone. A monohybrid cross is conducted between one variety of a pea plant, only one variety of pea plant, having pod that are full, capital F, that means it is dominating. Then having another pod having the construct, basically those half side, right, which is recessive. What is the percentage of heterozygous offspring in F1 generation? Can you tell me easily everyone? See, what cross we have? We have capital F, right, into 100, small f and small f. What will be the answer? Jaldi say. Right, what will be the answer? Very good. The heterozygous offspring in the F1 generation will be all. We did this, right? If we do the Punnett square, wait. If we make the Punnett square, right? Right, these are the parents. Yes, very good. So if we make the Punnett square, yes, all of them will be heterozygous. Everyone, I hope that it's clear. Right, so option number A is correct. Yes, very good, very good. Okay. Let's move ahead everyone to the next question. Now this is definitely not a part of our syllabus, right? Then let's take a look at the next question. Here we have everyone, so we don't have this particular question, sex determination, directly in heredity, but we have discussed in the how do organism reproduce. So here we have question number 9. Sex determination is an important development event in the life cycle of all sexually reproducing plants. Recent studies of sex determination in many plants species from ferns to maize have been fruitful in identifying the diversity of genetic and epigenetic factor that is involved in determining the sex of the flower of the individual. So this was basically an article written by 2 scientists. The questions that we have over here are: what is most likely genetic factor for sex determination in unisexual plants? Tell me everyone, the answer is there. What do you think will be the answer? They have mentioned that we can actually determine the gender, right, of the flower. Yes, by various factors that are affecting it. What are factors over here? The related factors, right? The related changes. So the first answer, the first A part that we have over here, the genetic factor, right, is what? Can you tell me everyone? Think about it, read it. What is the most likely, the genetic factor for determining the sex determination in unisexual plants? Sex chromosome, right? The answer is sex chromosome. If we have the sex chromosome, right, we'll be able to identify the gender. Yes or no? Yes or no? Epigenetic factors are the factors which are related, which are the factors that will be, making the things around change. Kind of responsible for something. Yes, we do. Okay, so I hope that it's clear. I know that. See, it's not just related to the plants we are talking, right? We are talking about the animals also. So this is a very basic thing that they have mentioned. Okay? So we understand this, that not just for the plants they're mentioning, right? But we can discuss this for the animals also. Don't worry. See, if you feel that this question is complicated, we just have to understand one thing, that sex determination in various plants and in animals happens based upon the temperature also. Okay? So if we have to determine the genetic factor, whether it's a male or it's a female, how we can determine? By the sex chromosome, right? By the sex of the particular flower. Is it a unisexual, right? Whether it has both the male and the female reproductive organs or just one. Clear? It's not complicated. Epigenetic factors refers to the factors external to the genetic components of the individual. Name evidence of one epigenetic condition that determine the sexuality in animals, that is temperature. Yes, very good. Many of you have said that. That is the temperature. Are we clear, everyone? Yes, very good. That's temperature. Absolutely correct. See, we have discussed in the reptiles, right? Even in snail. Right? Reptiles, where we see that depending on the temperature, the egg, right, can actually change. It can be a male and the female. Very good, everyone. Epigenetic factors. See, over here we have the definition. These are the factors which can actually, external factors. Shailaja, these are the external factors, right, to the genetic component of the individual that will be affecting the individual's sexuality. And of course, it's responsible for the changes that will be happening later. Good. So you will not be going how the temperature affected, because we will be going ahead and you will be learning in the future. Yes, good. Okay. Now let's move ahead to the next question, everyone. Here we have. Now this is something I want you to tell me the answer. Here we go. State Mendel's law of segregation and explain how sex determination violates the law. Can you quickly tell me what is the law of segregation? We studied it today, right? We all know what is the law of segregation. Chirayu, I will take your question, but let's quickly move ahead with this. Everyone, we know that in law of segregation we have studied that during the gamete formation, right? During the gamete formation, the gametes will get separate out, right? And each of the allele right? One parent will have one allele that will be giving, and from other parent will get the another allele. That is a law of segregation. How this thing actually break the law of the sex determination, right? How this actually breaks the law of segregation. Can I tell you? It's very easy. See, the question looks really very complicated, but can I tell you a very important trick? Acha, tell me everyone, female has what type of chromosome? Yes, female has two types of chromosome, right? X and X. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. And male have X and Y. So, if these chromosomes are getting segregated, it will be X only. There are no two gametes. Whereas over here we have X and we have Y. So, the female chromosome side actually violates the law of segregation. Are we clear? Clear, right? Very good everyone. Good. Yes. Okay. Very good. Okay, let's take a look at the question number D, everyone. This is a very interesting question. See, if you look at the number of basically the marks for this is 5. So we're very hefty. This question can definitely come when you have a very twisted case-based study question. Okay, here we have the part D of this question, everyone. Which parent determined the sex of the offspring in the humans and why? It's very easy, right? Male is the one that actually determine the gender, right? Gender of the offspring, because they have X and Y chromosome. If X fuses with the X, it's a female, and if X fuses with the Y, it's the male. Now, okay, there are a lot of questions, ma'am. How sex determination sex determination is violating the law of segregation? Simple. Wait, I have to move here. Do we have a space? Okay, here we have. See, we know this X and X. X and Y. The gametes that will be formed will have X gamete and will have Y gamete. But in the case of female, we just have YX chromosome. We just have one chromosome, right? So, law of segregation says that there will be the separation of the gametes. But in this case, that's not the case. We just have one single gamete. Everyone, are we clear? Yes or no? Basically, it's a copy. Right? One type of chromosome we have. So that's how the sex determination that actually violates. Basically, it's not following the law of segregation properly. Are we clear? Are we clear? Good. Very good. Chaliye. See, this is easy peasy. Okay. Now everyone, let's move ahead to the next question. Now next question is really very interesting. It has all the genetics, everyone. Let's take a look at this. Question number 10 for 5 marks. No, it's not deleted, bache. It's not at all deleted. It's there in the syllabus. Okay. Consider a pea plant is a recessive for plant height. See, we have a plant, pea plant, which is recessive. They have mentioned in the question itself. Yes? Srihari? Yes, it does. But again, what we are discussing over here, see, again, the question is a little bit twisted and they are focusing just on sex determination. They're not going in terms of the allele pe, right? They're not going down the line of the allele. They're more focusing on the sex determination. Because it does not have much of the variation as we say. Whereas if you talk about the other characteristics, they have a lot of variation. So I want you to focus on the sex determination only, not going into any other characteristic feature. So the plant is, the plant is dwarf, right? The genotype is small t and small t, right? Phenotype is dwarf. The A part is, assume that a gene of a plant height obeys the Mendel's law of inheritance, indicates that the genotype and the phenotype of all possible parents pair that could have dwarf offspring. So over here, everyone, we have the biggest hint. I know, कहाँ से लेके आते हैं भावेश, कहाँ से लेके आते हैं? Question बनाते हैं, बहुत मेहनत करते हैं. So everyone, see, read this question. आई एम श्योर यू हैव लॉट ऑफ, थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी लग रहा है बट इट्स रियली वेरी इजी. क्वेश्चन इज बहुत इजी है क्वेश्चन. अब मैं हिंदी में बताती हूँ इफ यू हैव कंफ्यूजन. दे आर सेइंग दैट देयर इज अ पी प्लांट, एक अच्छा सा प्यारा सा पी प्लांट है, एंड द हाइट ऑफ द प्लांट इज शॉर्ट, इट्स ड्रॉप, it's small t that we all know, which is there in the question. Now we have to assume that the gene of the parent obeys all the law of Mendel of inheritance, जो laws हैं सारे dominance वाला, indicates that genotype and the phenotype of all the possible pair that we can have. So we have to find, basically we have to tell कि what could be the pair of the parents. Capital T, this could be one pair. Yes or no? Very good, sweetie. Om, Rehu, very good. See everyone, we have three different types of these pair. So we have capital T and small t and small t. That could be one pair. We have small t, this. That could be one pair. If we do the cross, the genotype and the phenotype all will be dwarf. Okay? Are you getting my point? See, this is how they're trying to ask us कि we have to give them the parents, right? That will be able to give us the genotype and phenotype of the dwarf plant. We have one more combination. One combination is this. One combination is small t. Yes? What could be the next one? Very good. We have the capital T. Good everyone. Not all will be dwarf. See, we are just looking for the possibility of a dwarf plant. We will be able to get a dwarf species, right? We will have at least one dwarf offspring. So basically question में यही पूछ रहा है कि हमें पता है small t short plants के लिए है. अब हमें ऐसे combination के साथ में आना है जहां से हमें F1 generation में basically short plant मिल जाए. Clear? So if you do the cross of all of these, you will have at least one offspring, right, which is dwarf. Yes or no? जल्दी से बताइए. If you do the cross of any of these, right, in all of these, you will have at least one, right? You will have at least one offspring which is short. Yes? You want to try it out? See, capital T, small t, small t और ये, और we have small t and small t. So in each one of these parent के cross में will get at least one, right? We'll get at least one dwarf plant. Are we clear? Got it right? Capital T, Naga is not being asked because if we have capital T, it will be dominating, right? It will never allow any of the expression. It will not allow the recessive to express itself. Heterozygous rhea is nothing but when we have two different types of allele. This is heterozygous, capital T and small t. Yes, got it? Okay everyone, how many of you got this? Jaldi se bataiye. How many of you got this? And how many of you still have some confusion? I'll explain it to you again. Yes. Okay. Easy. Got it, right? Now I can see majority of you got it. I know it will take some time for us to understand, but please don't worry. Very easy question they're asking that indicate. So what is basically they're asking, assuming that the gene of all the plant height obeys the law of dominance of inheritance, indicate, we just have to indicate the genotype and the phenotype of all the possible parent pair that could have dwarf offspring. इनमें से जितने भी parents हैं ना, इनमें से क्या combination होगा कि हमें dwarf offspring मिल जाएगा? Clear? Yes? Everyone, I hope that it's clear to you. See, we have three combinations. Right? What we have? We have three combinations. We have this, we have this, and we have this. In all of these, right? In all of these, we'll have at least one dwarf parent, right? Sorry, dwarf offspring. तो ये हो गए हमारे three pair of parents that will be able to give us the dwarf offspring. I hope this is clear now. Good. Chaliye. Next question, everyone. The B part of this question is very easy. Using any of the parent pair mentioned that we have in A, we have to perform a cross to show the genotype of offspring that might arise in the next generation. You can take any of it and you will have the answer. Clear? You can take any of these and you will have the answer. Yes. Ahili. If you multiply it, capital T and capital T, you will have the offspring which are all are tall, not dwarf. Okay, chaliye. Next question, everyone, on your screen, and here we go. Easy peasy question here. Let's take a look, everyone, on this particular question. Yes, you can show the Punnett square also. Bhavish will discuss that. Okay. Yes, Ravi. One parent should be recessive. It's not mentioned that one parent should be recessive. It is asking that we have to find a pair, right? Where after they cross, we'll at least have one dwarf offspring. Chaliye. 2P plant, everyone, let's take a look at the question number 11. We have only a few questions here. Let's take a quick look over here. Tall pea plant are used to produce the progeny of 20 pea plants. So we have tall plants, right, that are used to produce progeny of 20 pea plants. Two parents, right, have the genotype capital T and capital T and small t. Cross kar dijiye fatafat se, everyone. How many short plants will be found in the progeny in F1 generation? Jaldi say. If we do a cross of capital T into capital T and small t, what we will get? Okay. Right, jaldi everyone, what we will get? Yes. Capital T, capital T, capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t. 0. We'll have 0 dwarf plant. Absolutely correct. Sare plants bade honge. All the plants will be tall because we have dominating factor over here. So it will not allow the expression of the recessive trait. Good. Very easy, everyone. Chaliye. Now let's take a look at this particular question. Here we have question number 15, everyone. The other questions are from the evolution part. Okay. Now, plants that reproduce through asexual reproduction give rise to similar and not identical offspring. What could be the most likely reason for the above statement to be true? You tell me, everyone. We know that during the asexual reproduction, usually give rise to the similar parents, right? Sorry, similar and not identical. What could be the reason? What could be the most likely reason for this to be true? Jaldi, everyone, tell me. Jaldi, jaldi, jaldi. If at all there is something, right? If at all they are not identical, what could be the reason? Because we know that in asexual reproduction, we know that it will be making the exact copy. So there is error in the DNA copying. Very good. The reason that there could be is because of the error in DNA copying. Right? So we can write that. Very good. Inaccuracy also we can say that inaccuracy, mutation has happened. Clear? Very good. So it was a very easy question, 1 marks. Okay. Now everyone, let's read the question number 16. Everyone, are we clear with this? Jaldi, jaldi. Bhavish, I'll try to explain it, bache. Yes. Good, good, everyone. Mutation is sudden change. I'm sure you would have seen in various hero movies, right? Due to the mutation, the hero converted to has some amazing power. I don't want to take the name, but you know, something in green. Yeah. Right? Yes. Good, good. Okay. Focus, focus, everyone. Focus mode on. Focus mode on, everyone. Let's read question number 16. So we have a pea plant that have green and yellow seed. Easy. one of the phenotype shows dominance, right? अच्छा वापस आ जाओ. Yes. Okay. Right? Array. I'll explain question 15, but give me a minute. Jaldi, everyone, let's take a look at this question. So we have a pea plant that have green and yellow seeds, right? One of the phenotypes shows dominance over the other. A farmer decides to pollinate a flower of a plant with green seed. Farmer ने क्या सोचा, मैं pollinate करता हूँ a green seed flower with a yellow seed. The resulting pod has all the green seeds. The question is, what should be the genotype of a parent plant to give green and yellow seeds in equal portion? Think about it, everyone. तो बहुत easy है, right? Yes? Very good, very good. See, I know that जब ऐसे क्लास में लाइव पढ़ते हैं, you might not get question. मतलब आपको थोड़ा टाइम लग सकता है to process the question. Read the question again. Super easy, monohybrid cross question, everyone. Right? So we have green and yellow seed. They're not talking about any other characters. It's a monohybrid cross. Right? So what we have a pea plant with green, right? With green and yellow seed. So let's suppose if we give green as a capital one, right? And we have this. Clear? Very good, everyone. So you gave away the answer. The first parent will be capital G. The second parent will be small g and small g. If we do the cross of this, what will have? Capital G, small g, small g, small g. %50% chances? Yes? I know, we said it, the session will end at 9. But you all are really in full of energy. So we thought, why not? Let's study together. Okay, everyone. So I hope this you got. Right, the question is really very plain and simple. They're asking that what are the genotype of the parent plant to give green and yellow seed in equal proportion. So this is the equal proportion, right? We have the capital G, green seed equally, and the yellow seeds equally. See, of course, you can use Y also. Why we are using G over here? I am just using G because the green is dominating. According to the Mendel's experiment, we remember that green is dominating as yellow. You remember? Yes, I'm sure you remember this. That's why I took capital G and small g. Clear? Done, everyone? सबको समझ में आया ये क्या है? Capital G, why I took? Because green is dominating. Small g इसलिए है क्योंकि they want equal proportion. See, if you think, if this is the case, do you think that we'll have equal proportion? Yes or no? See, let's try it out. Do you think we'll have recessive over here? Jaldi bataiye, do you think if you do a cross, we'll have the equal proportion of the offspring? Yes or no? No, right? Good, very good, very good. Yellow is not dominating. I get your point, You're saying round and yellow, right? And what we're discussing about the seed, yellow and green. Yes, so we're just taking an example. So if you want to use Y, please do use Y. I'm using G. Up to you, you can use Y also. If you go by the cross, definitely we have round and yellow which is dominating and wrinkled and green. Okay? Good. Very good, everyone. So you can use Y also over here. Yes, I misunderstood from here, but you can use G or you can use Y also. No worry. Clear? Clear, everyone. Quick thumbs up, jaldi se. Now you got it right? Yes. Good, good, good. Chaliye, everyone. Quick smiley. Okay. And I think we are done. We just have one more question. Yes, we just have one more question, everyone. Let's take a look over here. Question number 17 on the screen, and here we go. Easy breezy question everyone for 1 marks. The farmer crosses 2 heterozygous green seed plant and obtain 100 plants in F1 generation. What would be the number of green and yellow seeds respectively in F1 generation? Heterozygous everyone, they have mentioned heterozygous. Very good. Right, green seeds. So we have the heterozygous condition. Green seed may, right, they have mentioned the green seed, so we'll have the heterozygous condition over here. And how many of it they obtained? Right, 100 plants in the F1 generation. Clear? So the correct answer in the F1 generation is monohybrid cross, 3:1, 75 green seeds, right, and 25 yellow seeds. Good, very good. This was easy. Okay. I think everyone, this is last question. Question number 18 on your screen. Jaldi se. Here we have question number 18 everyone. Sex determination in humans happens through the sex chromosome. Yes or no? Right? It's not 50-50 Naga. You have to go and watch it again, bache. Right? We know that in sex determination, we can easily determine the gender through the sex chromosome. Along with the other parameters, such process often actually helps in the forensic studies if there is a crime investigation or identification of the accident, may agar there is a witness, right? Or sorry, victim. So, why this plays a very important role? We know that why it is important. The question is, which cell we can use? See, the question is really very easy. Basically, they are asking if they have to perform sex determination on an unidentified human body, which cell they would pick, which cell they will pick. They can actually pick any cell because each cell will have the sex chromosome. Yes or no? Yes or no? DK you will have. Pakke se bhaiya aap dekho na. We have it on our channel. Everything is there. Don't worry. So day after tomorrow and tomorrow you will have chemistry classes and physics classes. Don't worry. Okay? So which cell we can take? Any cell from the body because each cell has the sex chromosome to determine the gender of the individual. Yes. So with this everyone, with this we are done with heredity ka questions. Right? So as this moves, I hope that all of you are confident about the heredity and evolution. Jaldi se. Make a smiley everyone. Super easy question. Yes? Clear? See, those of you, if you have doubt for the question number 17, ye tha cross. If you cross this, you will have the answer. Right? Capital G, capital G, capital G. Basically, 3:1 wala. 3:1 ratio, monohybrid cross. Yay! Everyone, now it's time for us to conquer the biggest chapter in our life in biology. Drum roll everyone. See, I think this chapter every time gets a grand entry. Life process and goes till a long time. Yeah, I do say it's my favorite chapter, but internally, I know that I have taught this chapter for ages. Okay. Chalo everyone. I'm giving you time till the time I can find all of these question ka so many pages. Oh my god. Where are we? Okay, finally everyone we are here. Chaliye. Okay. Here we have. Let's get started everyone. Okay. Give us a basic feature mechanism of what? Inheritance. What are give the basic features of the mechanism of inheritance? I didn't get your question. Basic features of law of inheritance. Inheritance mein, I think of course if you're talking inheritance mein, the genes will move from one generation to the next generation, right? There will be the gamete formation, etc. Question number 9. Chirayu, you are saying you didn't get question number 9. Question number 9, Chirayu, I will take it later. Please, Anna, I need that time. Question number was talking about sex determination wala question. I'll explain you later. So basically in that question, Chirayu, and for all of you for Hereditary 9 question, the question was just discussing about the sex determination. They are saying that there are various factors that actually help in identifying the gender, right? So please make sure you go through it, and I'm sure you'll be able to get the answer. The basic thing in that particular question is to understand that there are various factors that can change or that determines the gender of the individual, right? Especially in plants and of course in the reptiles and other animals. Okay? Chirayu, I hope that you'll be able to get it. Okay, chaliye everyone. Let's take a look over here, everyone. Easy peasy question. Yeah, you have your favorite questions. Now, I think, yeah, it's a long way to go. We'll try our best to finish up as quickly as possible. We'll create records today, everyone. खाने की मिठास क्या डाउट है? नाम आपका बहुत तगड़ा है. खाना अभी तो मत बोलो. मैम, सेम क्वेश्चन इज इन कंट्रोल एंड कोऑर्डिनेशन. ही समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. या इट इज आउट ऑफ सिलेबस. अरे ये तो ऐश्वर्या मैम ने आपको बता दिया था. खाने की मिठास. Diksha, बच्चे. Okay, now I want to address this. You are there in a class since the morning. But see, this is very, very important. You're here in class and you're still not here. So there's no point, right? If you feel that you're not feeling comfortable with the English examination, I would suggest that leave the class. Think about it, that how you can make your science examination better. You cannot change anything now. Unfortunately, आप कितना भी सोच लोगे, you cannot go back in time and change things. Don't worry, everything will be fine, right? And focus on the science exam. चलिए, we have two statements, everyone. Warm-blooded animals have their left and right side of the heart separated for more efficient supply of oxygen to the body. It's true, right? Then, warm-blooded animals need high energy to maintain their body temperature. Definitely, yes. Yes, everyone. We know this is easy peasy. राइट तो बहुत इजी है. समझ में आया सबको? द करेक्ट आंसर इज 1. बोथ आर ट्रू एंड इट्स अ करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑल्सो. तभी तो वार्म ब्लडेड एनिमल्स के दो साइड, बेसिकली देयर इज सेपरेशन ऑफ द हार्ट. देयर आर चेंबर्स सो दैट देयर इज नो मिक्सिंग ऑफ द ब्लड. व्हाई? बिकॉज दे हैव टू मेंटेन देयर बॉडी टेम्परेचर. गुड. ओके, क्वेश्चन नंबर 2, एवरीवन. Here we go to the question number 2. It's about hemoglobin and chlorophyll. So hemoglobin and chlorophyll have very similar structure. According to this question, please stay focused. A molecule of hemoglobin is composed of an atom of 4 elements. We have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen, and all 4 organized around iron. Chlorophyll is also composed of the same element which are organized around magnesium. Consider the above information. Which element of hemoglobin is most likely to be responsible for the red color? See? खोदा पहाड़ निकला चूहा. I'm sure ये हिंदी का मुहावरा for this particular question is apt. We felt it will be such a big question, such a complicated question. But क्या है? Iron. Just imagine. Iron is the one which is responsible for the red color of the blood, right? It is there in the center. And because of the iron, the red, of course, because of the iron which is there in the hemoglobin, the blood is of red color. Good. Chaliye. So see, don't panic. Even if you see a very lengthy question, if you read the question, you will find the answer. See, in the question only they have mentioned iron. Easy hai na? From there we can get it. Chaliye. Question number 3, everyone, on your screen. Let's read that question out. Again, a very easy peasy MCQ question. 1 marks ka. Okay, many processes happens in the body of the living organism. हाँ, हमें पता है बहुत सारे processes होते हैं in the living organism body. Those processes which involves the building of the complex molecule in from the simple one, right? See, simple molecule are making the complex molecule is called as anabolism. Today only we have studied this, right? This is anabolism. And the opposite of it, if from the bigger molecule we are getting small molecule, this is called the catabolism, which is there. Which of the following life process can be considered as example of anabolism? Digestion में breaking होती है. respiration में भी breaking है, transpiration में भी breaking है. Only in photosynthesis we will have the anabolism. Small compounds, carbon dioxide, water comes together and forms the glucose. So I hope that you got this. See, if you look at the question and the options, you will feel कि question देने की जरूरत ही क्या थी, right? ये तो हम ऐसे ही बता देते. Okay? Are we clear everyone with this? चलिए. Now this is a very important question. Look at the beautiful diagram of the nephron, everyone. Yes, decay anabolism is a process where, of course, we will see the simple molecules coming together and forming the big molecule. Okay, we have P, we have Q, R, S. So what is P over here? Can you tell me what is P? It's a blood capillary which is entering. Okay, what is Q? Filtration wala part, glomerulus. Okay, what is R over here? The tube which actually help in the selective reabsorption. What is S? S is the collecting duct. Okay, very good. So this is efferent arteriole, this is the glomerulus, this is the PCT, basically the tubule which actually help in the secretion, reabsorption, and this is the collecting duct. Now the question is, which row of the following table correctly shows where filtration and selective reabsorption is happening? Right? What is the answer, everyone? We know that in the Q part, right, what we saw? Q part is what? P part is the arteriole. Basically, P part is the blood vessel. Q part was the filtration. So, filtration occurs in the glomerulus. So, this will be the answer. And reabsorption occurs in the R part, which is the selective reabsorption which is happening in the tubules. So over here, third is the answer. What is filtration? Filtration of the blood that happens, and selective reabsorption where there's a reabsorption of all the molecules which are important, right? Like glucose. Yes, very good. Like glucose we have salt, etc. They can ask you to draw the diagram of nephron. Very rarely they might give you the diagram and can ask you to identify the different parts. Collecting duct में urine collect होती है from all the tubules, right? When the urine is formed, it will be going through the collecting duct. Yes, these arterioles, right? Efferent and efferent arteriole. Of course, one will be getting the blood into the glomerulus, one will be taking the blood away. Okay. Next question, everyone. Question number 5 on your screen. Okay, let's stay focused. Come on. Nitish, I have explained. Efferent and efferent. Efferent means entry. Efferent means leaving, exit. Remember like this. Aao jao. Okay? Good. In which row in the table below will have the correct product of the anaerobic respiration in humans and in yeast? Look at the table, everyone. Look at the table. We have to find the correct product of anaerobic respiration in humans and in yeast. So in humans we have lactic acid, in humans we have carbon dioxide, in yeast we have lactic acid, and in yeast we have the carbon dioxide. Arey, you are pro now. Thank God, I'm very happy that life process padhne ke baad mein we all are pro. Good. So in human we have the lactic acid, which is absolutely correct. Humans में carbon dioxide anaerobic respiration में नहीं होता, right? In the lactic acid जब बनता है, it just have the formation of lactic acid and the ATP, so it's definitely not there. Yeast में will not see the formation of lactic acid, but definitely the release of the carbon dioxide. So the correct answer is this one, 2 part. Got it, everyone? Clear? See, you are asking me, ma'am, we should start from which particular section? Any section which you are confident of. अरे कृष्णा मत पूछो, कैटाबॉलिज्म एनाबॉलिज्म नहीं आएगा एग्जाम में. एंड व्हाट इज कैटाबॉलिज्म? अगर अभी भी डाउट है रिवाइंड करके देख लो, मैं दोबारा बताती हूँ. कैटाबॉलिज्म में बिगर मॉलिक्यूल विल बी ब्रोकन डाउन. क्लियर? बिगर मॉलिक्यूल इज ब्रोकन डाउन इन द कैटाबॉलिज्म. एनाबॉलिज्म में स्मॉलर मॉलिक्यूल्स विल कम टुगेदर एंड फॉर्म द बिगर मॉलिक्यूल. Shreyas, so respiration can be called as intracellular catabolic process. Intercellular. Okay, सेल के अंदर हो रहा है. Respiration सेल के अंदर हो रही है. Okay, let's take a look at the next question, everyone. We have 21 question in, I know that many of you are sleepy. What should we do? Let's dance together, right? Yeah? That will give you some energy. We are just on question number 6. Come on, everyone. You can read NCERT. Chaliye. Here, everyone, we have the question. Question number 6. Okay, on your screen. Here we go, everyone. Read the following statement. We have 2 statements and answer the question. Now, of course, gastroparesis. Basically, don't worry about this. It's a disease which happens in the stomach. Stomach में कोई disease है. हमें अभी उससे मतलब नहीं है. We are not thinking कि क्या disease है, कैसे होती है, हम नहीं सोचेंगे. ठीक है? बिल्कुल नहीं सोचेंगे क्या है. Is disease in which the muscles of the stomach become paralyzed. बेचारी stomach की muscles, they are not able to perform anything. They are stuck. Freeze हैं. They are very stuck. And cannot contract and relax. Unfortunately, we will not see the contraction and the relaxation of the stomach muscle. Food high in fat can delay the process of the digestion and emptying of the stomach. See, again, the question is really very easy. Which of the following food would be advised to a patient suffering from this particular disease? And we know that we need to have a food which does not require much of the digestion, right? Easy peasy, soup and juice. Right? I can see. कोई बोल रहा है soup and chicken salad कैसे? It will take a lot of time to process it. So first is the correct answer. Ice cream. Ice cream is a good option, but again, will not be able to hit. Okay. Next question, everyone. Question number 7 on your screen. Now this, I want to see if you have the clarity about the concept. Right? See, Aishwarya ma'am taught you about the transportation today. So all of you should answer this question. Ma'am, test for you. Dug. Okay, everyone. Yes. So we have a table, right? We have to correctly pick the movement of gases across the blood and cell. Okay. So we have oxygen from RBCs, right? We give oxygen from RBCs to the cells and carbon dioxide to cells. Of course, we take that. What is the process? The process is the diffusion. Diffusion occurs. Then from the cell to the RBCs, what we give? We give it, right? And the process is the diffusion. Answer is 4. I think, ma'am, jaldi bazi ke chakkar mein you are sitting with the answer sheet kya? Or you know the answer? Good. See, we know this diffusion is very important. So it cannot be the osmosis part. Okay? Yes, and over here they have mentioned osmosis, which can never be the process. Plasma we have the carbon dioxide. So good. I am very happy that you all know the answer. Question number 8, everyone. The amount of carbon dioxide, right, produced per molecule of glucose during aerobic respiration. Why? Statement: amount of carbon dioxide produced per molecule of glucose during fermentation of yeast. थोड़ा सा complicated है. Yes, let's quickly read everyone this. See, the amount of carbon dioxide which is produced per molecule glucose during aerobic respiration में ज़्यादा होगी या नहीं? Right, it will always be greater than the anaerobic respiration. So, if we have the glucose in aerobic respiration, it will be able to produce more amount of energy, right, as compared to the anaerobic respiration. So, X is more than Y. Clear? Thank you, Disha. Yes. Good. So, A is the correct answer. Easy peasy. Let's take a look at the question number 9, everyone. And here we have a theory question. Human being exhibits double circulation during which blood is passed through the lungs and heart. Statement, right, we have a part. State the route of the first and second circulation through the chambers of the heart and explain the usefulness of such circulation in humans. Easy question, everyone. Yes, yeah, we are moving really very fast. See, this talks about the double circulation. You can mention the routes. From lungs to heart, how it moves, from pulmonary vein, right, to the left atrium, right, and then you can write the whole steps. You don't have to explain anything, just have to write it. B part talks about name the blood vessel. Carry the oxygenated blood from the lungs to heart. Pulmonary vein, very good. Pulmonary vein carries oxygen-rich blood from the lungs to the heart. Carries deoxygenated blood from heart to lung. Pulmonary artery. Yes, easy peasy, right? Good. Chaliye. Next question number 10, everyone on your screen. Question number 10 is for 2 marks. A major portion, a big major portion of carbohydrate produced by plant is stored in different parts of the plant. कहाँ पे store होता है? Phloem के through, right? We are discussing that. Yes. Okay, मैं ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं लोरी गा रही हूँ, क्या बात है? Okay, explain the mechanism by which this is stored. Food is made available. Phloem, translocation. I think today only Aishwarya ma'am taught you the translocation. If you explain that mechanism, you have the marks in your pocket. For better understanding, please go and look at this. बहुत ही अच्छे से बताया आंसर इसने. Right, we have the answer over here, which is very beautiful. So ma'am have already explained you, so I'll not be spending time. ठीक है? Can you please explain again? अब ये बोलोगे तो ऐसे कैसे मना कर सकते हैं? But see, we know that phloem actually helps in the translocation. Movement of food happens, right? It happens actually, basically it happens because, what I'm saying? Yeah, phloem actually helps in the translocation of the food. Right now what happens in the phloem? We know that there is xylem and there is phloem. Okay, right? And there's a concentration difference. So food, the sugar from here will enter into the phloem. It will go against the concentration gradient. It will use the ATP, right? As the sugar goes over here, the osmotic pressure increases in the phloem. Osmotic pressure increases, less of water, more of sugar. Xylem will say, oh my God, I will help you, my friend. So water will come running from xylem to phloem. As the water will come, what will happen? Good flow and the food will move in the phloem from source to the sink. Clear? To different parts, to the lower pressure point. Yes? Clear everyone? So this is how we will see the translocation happening in phloem. Clear? Quick thumbs up. ATP की full form. Adenosine triphosphate. वैशाली क्यों रो रहे हो? Smile करो. Thank you Redley. Thank you so much. चलिए. Okay, feedback mechanism everyone. I don't know why. CBSE have done a very amazing job. You know what? We have various questions mixed from different chapter in life process. As if they felt it कि हाँ सारे सब कुछ life process से connected है. So everything we have. You will see the question of genetics also. You will see the question of control and coordination and how do organism reproduce. बस environment की कमी है. Thank you Chirayu. Yeah, the same thing we were discussing, right ma'am? You have. See, that's how it shows that you all are our bachas. Our frequency matches a lot. Okay.
Mitas, we'll do that question.
मिठास क्या है? कर लेंगे बेटा, कर लेंगे.
We'll do that question. I'll do it.
खाने की मिठास हमारी जिंदगी में मिठास लेके आओ. You're adding a lot of मिठास to our life. So don't worry, we will do it for you. Storage location inside the tube. Oh, I didn't get your question, बच्चे. Storage location, is it in the leaf? Yes, it is in leaf. It's in leaf only. I call that leaf as source. Okay? What are the components of phloem? We have sieve tubes, right? Companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fiber. Yogesh, answer kar diya. In human beings, everyone, we have hormonal action is largely controlled by the mechanism where the secretion of one hormone is regulated by the action of another. An example of the blood level control is shown in the diagram below. See, it's a very easy diagram, right? Very, very easy diagram. We have the stimulus which will be initiating the reaction basically, which will start the flow of the hormone, which will initiate the gland to secrete it. Then we have the sensor which is sensing it and will be sending the information to the gland to send all of this. Okay? We have evaluator and then of course we have the effector. Question is really very easy. It's a feedback mechanism. You all have studied, right? You all have studied this in the control and coordination. Now let's take a look at the question, what the question is. Here we have, which mechanism of the hormone action is known as? It's the feedback mechanism. Yes, right? We know that it's a feedback mechanism. Yes? Good. That's a feedback mechanism. Which is sensory eggs that actually help in detecting blood sugar level? We can say the cells of pancreas. So the cells of pancreas will actually feel, okay, the blood sugar level is more or high. Clear? Maithili, very good, the beta cells. Okay, what would happen if such mechanism is absent in humans? Easy hai. If such mechanism is absent in humans, what we'll know? We know that one thing, there will be disturbance, right? There will be the disturbance in the amount of hormones that are secreted, and the metabolism of the body will be getting affected. Thank you. Thank you, Elegance. Thank you so much. Good. Very good, everyone. We have very few questions left, right? We will be moving ahead, everyone. Don't worry. Okay. Are we clear with this question? Yes. Okay. Let's take a look, everyone, at a question number 12. It's a 4 marks question. See, look at this question. This question is really very long, but the question is very easy. Okay. Here we have, everyone, very easy question. Still 10 more question. Yeah, we will finish it off really very soon. I know नींद आ रही है. देखो देखो नींद तो आ रही है. चलो थोड़ी देर के लिए let's take a break. Please everyone stand wherever you are standing. Just stand. जहाँ पे भी आप बैठे हुए हो, just stand. See, I'm standing इसलिए I can't. Yes, Mayank, you can leave the class. See, I don't want you to distract my bachas, right? They are working really very hard. Everyone, if you have, I hope that all of you are standing. Can you do one small exercise with me? Right? Basically, stand on your feet and you're sitting on a bed. Wow, that's a life you have. Do like this. Stand on the edge, basically on the, what we call it? Like aage wala part? Toes. Toes, yeah. Stand on your toes. This is what happens when we, yeah? Stand on your toes and just roll back. Stand wherever you are standing, I know. Yeah, losing the track of words. Come on, everyone. Do like this and clap. Okay, right? You can move a bit, everyone. And let's take a look at the question number 12. Jaldi se, I need your help. Prisha, placenta ke baare mein bhi question hai. You won't believe we have a question on placenta in life process. So I will take your question there. Not all plants carry out photosynthesis by same mechanism. In most plants, photosynthesis depends directly on the gaseous carbon dioxide that diffuses into the leaf through the stomata. This is true, right? Which is very easy. Okay? However, some plants such as pineapple have an ability to store, very important everyone, right? Some have the ability, right, to store carbon dioxide in the vacuole of the leaf cell as a part of complex compound, right? This complex compound is transported to the chloroplast and release carbon dioxide when required for photosynthesis to occur. This special photosynthesis mechanism is believed to be evolved as an adaptation to conserve the water. Simple सी बात है. They are talking about the stomata. It's a very complicated question. देखने में लगता है it's a mountain question, right? But it's a very easy concept. We all know that photosynthesis occurs in plants during daytime. And to save the water, there are various plants who do the process of photosynthesis in night. Basically, during the day, what they will do, they will perform, they will take up the materials, right? In night time, they will have the process happening. The opening of the stomata. Why they do that? We know that. They do that so that they can conserve the water. So, which process in the plants does this photosynthesis mechanism minimize? The plants who survive in dry condition, the process starts with T. The process starts with T that actually help the plant to reduce the loss of something. Transpiration. Very good, everyone. So, if a plant is not performing, right, if the plant is basically doing all the work in night, the stomata are opening in night, that means that the plant is trying to avoid the transpiration process, which is nothing but the loss of water in a form of water vapor. So the A answer over here is transpiration. Clear, everyone? Yes, are we clear? Yes. Okay, B part. How is the ability to store carbon dioxide as a complex compound likely to help minimize the process referred? Because if it's stored right, what will happen? It can perform the process easily. Yes? Clear? See, Alpna, you can get the PDF from the CBSE website itself. Everyone, are we clear? Oh, we have some interesting question, everyone, ahead. Yes? Right? Very good. So we know that the carbon dioxide is already stored, right? This is already stored in the plants and it can be used in the process of photosynthesis. Good. When are such plants likely to take carbon dioxide from the environment? Right? Night. Absolutely correct. So during the night time, the plants will be taking the carbon dioxide. Clear? So that we have three parts of the question. Carbon dioxide is already stored, so that's why they can easily perform the process. Good, good, very good, everyone. How many questions we are left? We are done with question number 12. We have 21 questions. Still long way, but easy questions, everyone, in our front now. Okay. Yes, here we go. When some particles like sand and dust fall into your eyes, see, we have question from control and coordination. Our eye starts to water, right? Their own, and we blink the particle out of our eyes. We do that, right? So, for example, if we do like this, if something went inside our eyes, we usually have the water and we start blinking. This is a type of reaction or stimulus that the human body shows. So, A part is the above mentioned reaction is involuntary or voluntary? It is involuntary. It is involuntary. Explain part B. Ruko ek second. Before I move ahead, let me move ahead. Chaliye. Part B बोल रहा है how the ability to store carbon dioxide. So plant is storing the carbon dioxide, right? As a complex compound likely to help to minimize the process reveal. How it can reduce the transpiration process? Because we have, right? Because we have the carbon dioxide stored. So it can perform the process in night. Right? It can actually avoid the whole process of transpiration. Clear? Yes. C part hai bache that if the carbon dioxide is already stored, right? When it will be taking the carbon dioxide basically. If during day time it's not taking the carbon dioxide, day ka ulta is night. So the plant will be taking the carbon dioxide in the night. Okay? Good. Chaliye. So this part, everyone, are we clear? This part is involuntary, right? The action is involuntary. Okay. What is a specific name given to the pathway that brings about the immediate reaction to the stimuli? I can still see you have doubt in part B. Kaise? Very good. The correct answer is reflex arc. Control and coordination ka question. Then we have part C, everyone. What are the names given to the organ that respond to the stimuli? What we call it as? You remember? The organ that responds to the stimuli? Very good. The effector organ. Absolutely correct. The part of the brain that receives sensory impulse. Which receives the sensory impulse, everyone? Think about it. Which part is the biggest part of our brain which receives a sensory impulse? We're talking about the brain part, not the spinal cord. See, they have given the answer itself. Cerebrum. Very good. Or we can write forebrain. Good. क्लियर? चलिए निधि, आपको क्वेश्चन पार्ट बी समझ में नहीं आया तो एवरीवन मैं एक बार दोबारा से बताती हूँ, बिकॉज आई फील दैट इट्स सच एन इजी क्वेश्चन. So we know that, अच्छा, you repeat after me. You know that plants perform photosynthesis. जल्दी से, जल्दी जल्दी everyone. You know that plants perform photosynthesis. Yes or no? जल्दी जल्दी. I want to see a good big chain of the answers. Plant perform photosynthesis. Yes. Photosynthesis occurs during daytime. Photosynthesis occurs in majority of the plant during daytime. Yes. Here in the question, we have an example of pineapple plant, which actually is performing the whole process in night. The question is, why it is doing in night? For example, for first part, to avoid the loss of water. That is, the answer is transpiration. Second part is asking how the plant, right, how the ability of a plant which is saving the carbon dioxide is actually helping them to perform this whole process, because the stored carbon dioxide can be used during daytime, right, when the light is there, and they can actually avoid the opening and closing of the stomata and hence reducing the transpiration or the loss of water. Clear? Everyone, are we clear? Jaldi se. Yes. Good. Okay, third part was easy, so you got it. Chaliye, moving ahead everyone. Okay, here we have question number 14 everyone on your screen. Now this is an interesting question which is very easy. Right? Acha, can I tell you the whole story of this question? See, यहाँ पे एक बहुत प्यारी seal के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं जिसका नाम है Weedle seal, right? ये पानी के अंदर जाती है. They're talking about a very beautiful animal which is a diving mammal, right? It goes inside the water, right? And actually it's not breathing at that time. We know that it's a mammal, so it will be using the lungs for the respiration process. But when it goes deep down, right? Respiration, the breathing is not happening. So these are the important factors we have over here, and scientists did a long study to understand how it is happening. After their long study, what happens? They actually made this particular graph. Now, if you know this concept, everyone, you will tell the answer. We have lactic acid. See the concentration of lactic acid in the blood and time duration in minutes. So, okay, everyone, tell me, in the humans, when we'll have the formation of lactic acid? Jaldi say. Very good. During the anaerobic respiration. Right? During the anaerobic respiration, we know that there's a formation of lactic acid. Right? Okay. Over here, we can see the duration of dive. So what they did, they actually made the graph. So when this particular mammal enter into the water at 10 minutes, the concentration of lactic acid is very less. It stays same till 20 minutes. Can you see over here? Till 20 minutes, it's the same. But as the time increases, what is happening? The amount of lactic acid inside the muscle cells of this whale, of this mammal, is increasing. So there are two things which are absolutely clear. That this mammal is actually doing the anaerobic respiration in the muscles. Yes or no? Yes. Yes or no? Done, right? Good. That's a very important part for all of you to understand. Yes? Good. Now let's take a look at the question, everyone. The question is, based upon the graph, right, we have to find out that the change in the respiration we see, right, happens after 20 minutes. We have to justify our answer. So the answer is really very easy. For the first 20 minutes, right, for the first 20 minutes, what is happening? Simple aerobic respiration, right? Oxygen is there, so simple aerobic respiration is happening. After 20 minutes, what we have? Anaerobic respiration. Clear? Good, very good. Easy है ना देखो. The question is really very easy. See, if you read the question right, you will get each and everything. It's not at all difficult. That's the first part of the question. Second part is that adaptation are actually help the seal to produce more amount of the energy for swimming during the first 20 minutes to dive. Explain why adaptation P and Q does not help much. So the question is asking the adaptation that it has is not basically which of these adaptation will help. P and Q are not helping, whereas the R is helping. So we know that, for example, if you and I are going inside the water, right, what we will do, we have muscle cells, right? So what we'll have in a muscle cells, what we'll have? We'll have the oxygen that can be utilized to form the energy. Lack thoda sa oxygen, but still it can do. Even if we have the oxygen in our blood, it's not able to help us. Okay? Yes. Everyone, if you read this question, you will get it. I know that now is a time where I'm sure your brain is a little bit hazy, so I'll not be spending much time. But you can read the question and you will have the answer. We will swim, right? We will swim. So Chirayu, you are asking what will be the weightage of the chapter from the how do organism reproduce. So there is, as of now, there is no blueprint out of it. But based upon the various question paper analysis, we know that probably from the reproduction we'll have 6 marks or 5 marks question. Okay. Let's move ahead everyone to the question 15. It's again. See, I have a lot of patience everyone. I want all of you to have the patience. Please have patience. The questions are very easy. They look very scary. Okay. Ma'am, budding in yeast can come? Of course it can come. Okay. Anita conducted an experiment of photosynthesis in the water plants, right? So Anita was working and she's like, okay, fine, I want to work on the, right? She wants to work on the aquatic plants. So what happens actually, right? She plotted her result. So we have, see over here, we have graph. So we have dissolved oxygen and 10 minutes we can see the graph is increasing. Why the graph is increasing? Because the plant is performing the photosynthesis, right? We know that aquatic plants also perform the photosynthesis. So according to this graph, we can see that the oxygen level is increasing. Yes or no? Yes or no everyone? Elegance, I can see your messages. I know that you are from Kashmir. You are watching a session. I can see your messages. Thank you for the love. Thank you so much. But it was that I saw your message. I thought I'll address you in the later part. Right? Don't worry. We're focusing, right? I want you to sleep on time. That's why I thought I will address your question later. Clear, right? Good. Now let's take a look at another graph. So again, she repeated the same experiment with covering the tank with the black cloth. So that means that light will not be able to reach to the plants, right? So the rate of photosynthesis will definitely be reducing. Yes or no? Yes? Yes or no? Right? We will see that the graph is going a little bit down. See over here? Yes? And there are 2 things I want you to tell me. Photosynthesis occurs. Plants take up the carbon dioxide and give the oxygen. In respiration, plants take up the oxygen and give the carbon dioxide. Yes or no? You agree with this, right? You agree with this? Yes? That respiration and photosynthesis, this is what we see in plants. Now, let's read the question and let's try to find the answer. Here we have the question, everyone. The question is, what is the aim? We can write to waste our time. Right? Can we write to waste our time? To make us, to scare us or to keep us awake? Right? But the aim of her experiment is clearly that she wants to understand the importance of light. Right? Yes, very good. She wants to actually show the importance of light. Importance of light during photosynthesis, right? That's why they have mentioned that they have covered the tank with the black cloth. Very important. These are the hints that actually help us. Okay. Part B. Apart from photosynthesis, what other cellular respiration can be observed, right, by the experiment? Can you quickly tell me, everyone, what are the other things we can see? Yes, what are the other things we can see? Respiration. Very good. The other process which is happening in this particular tank is the respiration. We just said, right, photosynthesis and respiration. So both of these processes are happening simultaneously. Okay. C part, everyone. Why does the oxygen level rise in graph X and why does it goes down in Y? Easy hai. In graph X, it keeps on increasing because the rate of photosynthesis is higher as the rate of respiration. Because light is there, plant is very happily doing the photosynthesis. Why there is a downfall in this particular graph? Why? Because photosynthesis is not happening and whatever carbon dioxide is there, right, we can say that is getting affected. Yes, because the light is not there. Easy. Good. So you know the answer. Very good. Okay. Question number 16, everyone, on your screen. Oh, this question is very easy. I'm sure you'll be able to answer this question. Terrestrial animals use lungs to breathe while the aquatic animals like fishes use the gills. Right? Absorb, dissolve oxygen in the water. Frogs are the organisms that can live both on land and on the water. How the frog can acquire oxygen while in the underwater? Tell me, everyone, how the frog actually respire under the water. Very good. They have the moist skin. The skin is really very thin, right, and is very permeable. So it can actually help in getting the oxygen. Yes? Clear? Good. B part. Are lungs of the terrestrial animals and gills of fishes are analogous organ? Analogous organ means, what is the meaning of analogous organ? I know it's not a part of your syllabus, but I hope that you know. What is the meaning of analogous organ? Their structure is different, but their functions are same. Analogous organ, they have different structure, right? And they have similar function. Okay? Explain why or why not. Do you think? Yes, right? So fishes have gills, they have a same purpose. But the structure of lungs and gills are very different, but the function is same. It actually helps in the exchange of gases, right? So the answer will be yes, and you can write the point. Yes, and you can mention that. C part. Why do aquatic animals have higher breathing rate? अच्छा, ये तो आज ही discuss किया था. You remember this, right? The aquatic animals have higher breathing rate because the dissolved oxygen in the water is very less. That's why they have to breathe faster to stay, basically to survive. Question number 17, everyone. Oh, this is very easy question. Can you guess which blood vessel is this? Everyone, few more questions. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 5 more questions. 5 more questions, everyone. 5 more questions. The image below shows cross section of the blood vessels of the human arm. Right? Very good. The biggest hint over here is these. These are the valves, right? And what we have over here, this is the vein. In veins, we have the valves. Good. The question that we have over here is, what is the type of blood vessel shown in the image? Vein. Which direction the blood is flowing from? Can you tell me which direction the blood is flowing? From P to Q. From P to Q. In this particular way. And these valves actually stop the backflow of the blood. Good. Okay, good. Everyone, question number 18. Moving really very close to the end of the session. See, Daddu 18. Light reaction, dark reaction nahi aayega. Right? CBSE will never be asking you to write in detail about light and dark reaction. There are 3 steps of photosynthesis in your textbook. Read those, that will be coming. Clear? Okay. We often hear people complaining about acidity in the stomach. Right? Why we have the acidity in the stomach? Because there is the overproduction of the HCl. HCl ज़्यादा बन गया, hydrochloric acid. Why is the production of this substance very necessary? Because, right? Because the hydrochloric acid actually help in killing the microorganisms which have entered along with the food, and it actually activate the pepsinogen enzyme into the pepsin, and pepsin enzyme helps in digestion of protein. Good. How does stomach prevent itself from the harmful effects of overproduction of the substance? कैसे करता है? How does it does that, everyone? How does the stomach prevent itself from the harmful effect of overproduction of the substance? By the mucus. Mucus actually protects the inner wall, right? Inner lining of the stomach. Easy. Question number 19. Okay. There are various muscles present in the human digestive system known as sphincters. The small opening that we have in the alimentary canal, right? And the human digestive system altogether. We have pyrotic sphincter which is present at the stomach and in the small intestine, and we have the anal sphincter which is there at the anus. We have to give one of the most likely consequences if these sphincters are not working well. क्या होगा if these sphincters, right, that opening is not working well? What will happen? अब है वो उसका नाम है, right? The opening, the sphincter is basically nothing but a flap-like, will not cause a flap structure, but definitely a barrier that will actually stop. So this is present between the stomach and the small intestine. क्या होगा? सिंपल सी बात है, अगर ये sphincter नहीं हुआ तो चीजें easily move कर जाएंगी. अरे right? Food will be moving really very quickly into the small intestine, and the small intestine will not be able to do the complete digestion and the absorption. Right? Clear? And अगर anal sphincter नहीं होगा तो क्या होगा? The feces, right, will be moving out of the body. There will be no control. Right? There will be no control on the feces. Feces will be moving out of a body. Right? Good. अरे आप सबकी जय, students की जय, right? It's a win for you, all of you. See, pile is a condition. What happens during the pass out, right? If a patient is passing out the stool, which is nothing but the feces, right? What will happen along with that? The blood will also come out. It's because the muscles are not that relaxed, right? So if the stool has to come, it has to push a lot. And that causes. Clear? Good. Okay. Question number 20, everyone. Last second question. Right? The developing OC, we have how do organism reproduce here. आ गया placenta. सच्ची में मतलब, now we can say that the most important chapter is life process. Right? We have seen everything. So the developing embryo gets nutrition from the mother through a special tissue called placenta. Mentioned two structural design of placenta that actually help the embryo to get the nutrient. First, of course, we have villi. We have villi on the embryo side, which is mentioned in your CBSE की textbook में अच्छे से दिया है. Okay, embryo side, right? Second point, there definitely has a blood space that actually help in the movement. Okay, there's a blood space between the mother also. Very rich supply of the blood vessels. Okay. Second part, is placenta tissue designed for one-way transportation? No. We know that with the help of placenta, we have both-way transmission, right? Transportation. From mother to the baby, and from the, we usually say fetus, not the baby, from fetus to the mother. Good, everyone. With this, now we have drum roll. Last question. Yes, and we have seen everything. We have arthropoda and molluscans. They have copper-containing respiratory pigment which is called as the hemocyan, right? While the human beings have iron-containing hemoglobin. We all know that, right? How do respiratory pigment help in the process of respiration? Oh, they actually help in the exchange of the gases, yes? Right? We know that they actually help in the exchange of the gases. Yes or no? Right? They actually carry the oxygen. Give it to the cells. Right? Second part, why do multicellular animals need respiratory pigment? Easy question. Because they have to, right? They have to send, right? They have to carry the oxygen to different parts, right? And we, as being a multicellular organism, right, we need lot of it. Yes, so we can say that why the animals need, because diffusion will not be able to help, because we are a multicellular organism. Metabolism rate is really very high, so we need something that can easily transfer. With this, everyone, happy to say that we have finished all of the questions. Yes, diversity bhi aa gaya. Yes! Everyone, I hope that we have 1,000 likes. Nahi hue kya?
2 more.
Everyone, please make sure you hit the like button.
Somebody is asking, is it Aishwarya ma'am typing?
Haan, yes. So I don't want to be the villain, but yeah, we take care of each other in that way. Right? So if you write anything, if ma'am is there, ma'am will be making sure that, you know, we will take care of you. If someone is disturbing the class, if I'm sitting there, I'll also do the same thing. Yes, everyone. With this, ho gaye. I am very proud of you. Please, ma'am, please come. Yay.
Quickly say.
Yeah.
So I know, I think we'll go here. Yeah. So I know today's been a very long day, right? I'm sure that all of you, they're like, ma'am, 11 to 11, we've been studying biology. So see, it's not easy what you've done, right? Ankita ma'am is so tired. But no, it's not easy what you guys have done today. It's not easy for any of us, right? And now it's just that we want you to make sure that you are thorough with all of this, right? Now we could have easily said we could have done it later, but there's no time for later. Exam is on Saturday, so we will have to finish today. Now if you feel like there were 1 or 2 things which you missed out, right? Like for example, maybe you didn't understand something because you were a little tired. It's okay, the video will be available. Always come back and you watch it, right? So everyone, lots of love to all of you, right? Show us your love. If there are any more questions that you have which you want us to talk or, you know, discuss, let us know in the comments of this video, because we really mean it when we say that we've got you covered, right,
Yeah.
ma'am?
So I think this, we don't want to say anything, you know that, right? See, we are trying our best. I know the timings are a little bit off. I know that many of you feel that, ma'am, we are tired. But when your presence in the class shows that you really want to do well in your examination, it feels super proud to see that you have that motivation ki nahi, I have to study hard for my examination, because it's just a matter of 4 days. This hard work will pay when you have your answer, you know, result in front of you. So don't worry, right? Take rest, eat good, healthy food, take a good sleep, have a happy face that you have finished your biology.
Yes.
That's a major part of the science, right? And it's really very easy.
Yes.
So all the best, everyone.
And everybody, quick shout out to Ranjit sir, who's actually all
Yes.
the way from home, right? He went home and even then he's logged in, you know, remotely, so that all of you understand. Somebody told me Aishwarya ma'am went to sleep in between. But show lots of love to Ranjit sir as well in the chat, who is actually watching and
Thank you,
listening.
Ranjit sir.
So thank you, Ranjit sir, for everything that you do, right? It's always a team effort. So show us your love in the comments as well, right? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's class, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and of course like this video.
Yes, everyone. So with this, we'll say bye-bye. Lots of love. No, you should know that both of us, when we're going to sleep, we will be going within such an amazing feeling that you enjoyed the session and you actually learned today. It's not the long hours that we'll be counting. What you will remember in the future is the hard work that you did. And we are happy for that. So we'll be going with a very big smile on our faces when we sleep today. Hopefully, you'll be doing the same. And with that, we'll say good night. Hearts, as we say. Purple hearts, pink heart, yellow heart, green heart, every heart. And lots of love, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow again. Do take care. And yeah, good night.
Bye, everybody.
With BYJU'S.
Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.